say hey to everyone here to kick off. I see you over here. What was that, Lindley? I see you waving over here. Allie's on the phone, or she's waving to me. She looks a little stressed out right now, so maybe we'll come back to her. Yeah, I might be picking on you guys. And by the way, my screen is over here on the side, so when you see me kind of breaking eye contact with you, that just means I'm glancing over at you guys, trying to show you some love over here. So I'm excited. I'm excited for today. So I'm going to tell you why. Um, Back in the day, and I'll start off telling a little bit about my story, but actually, before we even do that, I want to say something that a lot of you guys may not realize, because I know that there's a lot of people here that are on Jacob's team, and I know there's a lot of people on here who maybe were invited by someone else, another leader. One of the things that I saw recently that made me really want to do something with Jacob is I really felt his heart when I had a conversation with him. One of my first conversations with him, he had the opportunity to book me. I said, I'll come and do something. I love sewing into the next generation. I started, with Vector and Cutco when I was 19 years old. So I definitely have a few things that I can share that I know will, help to impact a lot of people's lives. And this is something that I do now for a living. I never would have thought that I would be in a position to one day have the ears of a next generation of salespeople back in the day when I was struggling in my business and to make any sales. But it's really interesting because I've been very blessed in my years, and I'm very good at identifying future leaders. And one of the things that I really got to know as a fact when I started talking to Jacob is I said to myself, I said, this guy's going to be really big. He's going to the top, and he's going to take anybody that's along with him along for the ride. Because one of the things that he did when he had the opportunity to book me, to secure me to do this training, is he actually agreed to open it up to other division leaders and other teams. And I thought to myself, in a world where there's leaderboards in your company that has his name on there, he's on these top leaderboards, but he's going back and forth in some friendly competition with, the other guys. And I knew that if he had his team on here, his team would blow up. You guys are going to blow up. Everyone watching this, if you're taking this seriously, I'm going to share some things with you that 100% have the opportunity to change your life. Like, no exaggeration, no hype. You'll see by the end of this call. But to know that I have that amazing opportunity, and to know that I could give that to anyone, and to hear Jacob say, yeah, I would like to invite people that some people might say are the competition, other competitors, for him to invite other people to want to do something like that. I thought to myself, this is a really stand-up dude that isn't about, it isn't about division, and in a time where we're seeing so much division, to see so much unity to come out from someone like him, to say, you know what, not only do I want to change the lives of not just my team, but this is a really great golden opportunity for me to help just people in vector marketing as a whole. And that, my friends, is called servant leadership. By the mere fact that he was willing to put other people first and to even invite his competition on and their entire teams to watch this, should let you know something really big about this guy's character. It let me know something big about this guy's character. And when I found that out about him, I was like, I'm all in with this dude. I'm all in with this dude. I want to help him. I'm going to help his team. I'm going to help everyone in this company. And I was really just touched by that. So I just want to encourage you, on your way to the top, along your journey, be the type of person that is like a Jacob. Be the type of person that has an abundance mentality, and invite other people to take a look at anything that you've got good that will help them in any way you possibly can, even if they're your competition. Because when you do things like that, you're invoking the law of attraction, and you are just putting out crazy, awesome abundance vibes, and you're going to see amazing opportunities open up the door to you. So I wanted to just first kick off by saying that, because if you guys aren't on his team, this is a dude that you need to follow. This is a dude that you need to stay in touch with. This is going to be a fun guy to watch. And the closer you can get to him in any capacity, whether it just be being his friend, having him know your name, it's a really great opportunity and a really great suggestion that I would want to give you. So to kick that off. So I want to start off by saying thank you, Jacob. And I want to say to all you guys, are you ready? Are you ready to have some fun? Are you ready to take some notes? Yes, I see Lindy over here going, yes, she's fired up. Who else? That's twice I called her out. Is she going to be, do I have to switch screens? Do I have to get more people on this thing? Man, there's so many people on here. I got to figure out, how do I do this thing? All right. Got so many people. I'm flipping around here. I just want to say, what's up? What's up, Josh? I see you over there waving. All right, cool deal. All right, so let me just start off by sharing with you guys a little bit about my story. Now, I am not maybe the typical vector marketing success story and rep that you may be used to hearing. My story is a little different. At 19 years old, I got started with a newspaper ad. Back in the day, I saw a little ad for a job, and I was in college, and I was home on a break, and I was like, wow, this looks dope. This is paying way more than anything else out there, because it was like $15 an hour, $20 an hour, whatever you guys advertise now. It was a lot of money per hour. And I was like, holy crap, what is this thing? And I call up, I go in for my interview, and like all of you watching this, I said yes. I said, all right, let's go ahead and do this. I'd never done anything like this before. I'd sold candy growing up, so I thought I'd probably be pretty good at selling stuff. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I get started in Vector at 19 years old, and I was the worst. I'm talking the worst. The only thing I ever really sold was, I don't have numbers on all this stuff that I sold, but it wasn't a lot. But the main thing that I remember selling was the spatula spreader. I was a beast at selling the spatula spreader. And the reason why is because people would buy it out of guilt. Almost all my sales were just the wife looking at the husband and going, oh, honey, he's been here for the past hour. And can't we get something? And then they would go through, the little catalog, and they would be like, let's just buy one knife. So has anyone else ever had any pity sales like that, or am I alone? Okay, we got a few people that got some pity sales, right? That's how I started. And I'm just going to tell you, I had this moment where I decided to myself, after giving it all I had for probably a month or maybe more, I really kind of lost track of the time. I just said to myself, you know what? I just don't think I'm cut out for this sales stuff. I'm just not a salesperson. At that time, I wasn't the Cesar Rodriguez that you guys are seeing today. At that time, I was 19 years old, had tons of rejection, and was just kind of thinking to myself, maybe this isn't me. Maybe I just need to get a regular old 9 to 5 and just get a guaranteed salary, because I never even really saw commission, because back then, and I don't know if it's the same, you have to hit a certain number of sales or something to do commission. So I only basically got the little pitiful hourly thing that they threw at me, as basically saying like, all right, fine. You've done your time. We're going to just pay you this default hourly. I didn't even get to maximize the compensation plan. And the reason I share this with you is because I just want to encourage some of you out there who maybe you're not killing it right now. Maybe you're thinking to yourself some of the thoughts that I thought to myself, like, man, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe if I was, better looking, maybe if I lived in a different neighborhood, if I knew richer people, maybe things would be different. So I actually decided after that to call it quits on my professional sales career. And I actually vowed to never do anything that was direct sales again. I finished college, but right before I graduated, I had someone approach me while I was in a mall, and they offered me an opportunity to take a look at another direct sales business. And I thought to myself, man, there's a lot of money on the table here, but I didn't do too good the first time. So I don't know if this is for me, but I'm going to give it a shot. And once again, I was terrible. The first 100 people I talked to in a row told me no. I went 0 for 100. And by the way, the thing that I was selling at that time was only $26. So less than a spatula spreader, and 100 people told me no in a row. So imagine your confidence when you're going out there and all you're trying to do is sell something for 26 bucks, and it's good, you believe in your product, like I know all of you guys do, and you can't even sell one. Now that was bad. That was worse than my ratios when I was in Vector. So I had this important decision to make. I was about to graduate college. I got started in this business. I had 100 no's in a row. When I called my mom and told her what I'd gotten into, she told me I was an idiot and that I should just stick with using my college degree and just getting a good hourly or salary rate. Because she's a government worker and that's what she knew. So that's the advice that she gave me. And I want you to know something. People give you advice from where they're at. And I would highly recommend to you to not take anybody's advice. Don't buy anyone's opinion unless you want to buy their lifestyle. Because if you buy their opinion, you buy their lifestyle. So at this point in my career, I'm a couple months into this new company. I had already failed another one. And once again, those thoughts of maybe this isn't for me. But I decided to do a little something different. I decided to make a commitment, a simple commitment, a commitment to make it to the top no matter what it took and to not quit. Because I had so many people that were telling me that I was an idiot, it was never going to work, I was never going to make any money. Those things that I'm doing, this thing that you're doing, commission, no guarantees of income, it's risky. I almost fell for it. I almost fell for it a second time. Because the first time, if I had stuck with Vector and I had learned the skills that I could have learned from all of those years up until the point where I joined that other business, the person that I would be today would be ridiculous. I would have had a huge jump start on my business and my life, because I want you to realize something. Right now, all of you, I want you to consider yourselves like interns. You're paid interns. The skills that you're going to learn, the rejection that you're going to get and you're going to deal with and you're going to overcome and you're going to get and develop rhinoceros level skin, tough skin. That person that you become in this process is worth more than the money that they'll ever give you. People, like even me, are so soft. The me back then, so soft, so soft. I quit because I couldn't figure it out. I threw in the towel. But I could have been on the verge of greatness. I could have been a top salesperson, a top producer. My communication skills, the life skills, the sales skills, the things in persuasion I could have learned, because you guys are a part of a great company that gives you great education and has great leadership. The opportunity you have now is more valuable than, I would say, a college diploma. Going out there, marketing yourself, learning how to talk, learning how to overcome objections, learning how to sell. Those things are going to make you successful in every area of life if you master them. Now, luckily, I was given a second shot, and I didn't want to blow it like I blew the first one. So I committed to going all out with that company, the same way you can commit right now to going all out with your company. And what ended up happening was I made this very bold decision. I remember being at an event, and the speaker in the room raised his hand and he said, how many people here think that they can sell, are going to commit to selling 5 people a month? And if you do, you get this incentive trip and all this type of stuff, 5 people a month for the next year. It was a very low bar. But for me, it was a very high bar. And I didn't stick my hand up. I was in a room with thousands of people. And he said, stand up here if you'll commit to the Players Club. You'll commit to selling 5 people a month. I did not stand up. I was the only person in the room because my integrity was so important to me that I said, it would be unethical for me to stand up and say that I'm going to be one of those people, knowing that I haven't sold 5 people in my career. How am I going to sell 5 people a month like that? That's crazy. But I walked out of there and I just made a commitment on my drive home. And I said, you know what, Cesar, what are you made of? Because you can tell the size of a man or a woman by the size of the problem that it takes to knock them down. You can tell the size of a man or woman by the size of the problem it takes to knock them down. So I thought to myself, is this how big I am? Then I'm just going to quit again because I can't sell 5 people because I don't have that confidence? Or should I do something about it? And I decided to take a bolder path, and I made a bold decision. And I was living in Roanoke, Virginia at the time. I had graduated college. I was doing this business, struggling. And I said to my mentor, I said, look, if I move, because there was this guy who's super charismatic, super great with people, and I was having to build my business completely in the cold market. Because you know that list of 100 people you make, or 200 people, or however many people you make, I'd already went through them all, and I ran out of people. So it was cold market prospects or nothing. So I needed to learn how to prospect. There was a guy who was really good at it. He was super charismatic. And I said, look, if I move to that city that you live in, this Wilmington, North Carolina place, if I move there, will you allow me to follow you and just shadow you and watch you talk to people and break the ice? Because this guy could break the ice with anyone, pull their phone number and set an appointment, cold market, and be sitting with them or on the phone having an appointment with them within a day max. I mean, he could do it anytime. He could get people so fired up they'd meet with him later that afternoon or stop what they were doing. He was amazing. So I said to him, I said, Mr. Gregory, if I drive to the city that you have this beach house in, Wilmington, North Carolina, because he had a house in Raleigh, North Carolina, and a beach house in Wilmington, North Carolina. I said, if I move to this place, will you allow me to just shadow you and watch you on the weekends? And he said, yes. And I said, all right. I moved to a city where I knew absolutely no one. And for the next several years, from 21 to 29, all I did was watch him talk to people, prospect, set appointments, and do presentations. I did that and also had the opportunity to climb up the same way you guys can and build a team of other people. So I did that. And the story was, because I committed to personal development and not watching TV, not paying attention to the news, focusing exclusively on doing things to improve myself, reading books. I read hundreds of books, listened to thousands of hours of personal development, audios, CDs, courses, flew to countless seminars. I just decided to invest in me and to transform myself. And because I did, I went from being a 21-year-old broke college kid to making my first $1 million by 29. And because of that, it's the reason why I'm so passionate to help you guys, because I know that there's some people here that you might be on the verge of quitting and you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know that your story could be similar to mine or even better. And you could blow my story out of the water. The money you could make, the influence, the people whose lives you touch, it's unfathomable. So I want to help you. And I want to help you by teaching you a couple things. Number one, I want to share with you what I consider the best shortcut to success. I want to show you how to develop unstoppable confidence, hit any goal you want to hit faster than ever before, and overcome your fears. I want to teach you about the 3 enemies of success, how to overcome them very simply. I want to give you a little hack that'll help you to rewire your brain. I want to tell you a little bit about the 4 personality types so that you know when you're talking to people who to sell to and how to sell to them, because there's different approaches that you want to take for different people. So if you guys are excited to hear the rest of that, let me see you over here while I take a sip of water here. All right, you guys are excited. Some of you guys taking notes. I see you over there. I like it. I like this group. This is a strong group over here. Good energy. All right, so the number one thing that I want to share with you is something that I got from one of the hundreds of books that I've read. And that is something that came out of the book, Think and Grow Rich. For those of you taking notes, it's a really great book. If you stay in touch with me afterwards, I can shoot you a link to it if you want to find it, because I kind of got the hookup on a nice edition of this book on Amazon. It's a little bit different. It's actually pretty cheap. It just looks a lot nicer. And it's the original text, because there's lots of translations of this book. And the book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this book has been credited for creating more millionaires than any other book in history, other than arguably, they say, the Bible. Meaning more millionaires, decamillionaires, billionaires. When you ask them, what books have you read? The number one book that they have in common, that the most of them have read, is Think and Grow Rich. So it might be worth getting that book. Or you could just let me tell you some of the highlights. Mainly the first one, which is what I pulled out of that book that changed my life, is he said there are three enemies to success: fear, indecision, and doubt. Fear, indecision, and doubt. And if you don't learn how to conquer those three enemies of success, then you're never going to be successful. Because think about it. If I take a person right now and I put them up next to me and I said, hey, look, we're going to look at this person. Here's a list of their qualities. You tell me if they'd kill it in Vector or not. You tell me. Okay. They are sharp. They're good looking. They're popular. They are great at sales. They're charismatic, have tons of friends, live in a nice neighborhood, have rich parents. I hit you with all these different things. You'd be like, they're hardworking. They're dedicated. A lot of you guys are like, oh yeah, that person's going to crush it. But what if I told you that they suffer from any one of the three enemies of success? What if I told you, but this person, they have a lot of self-doubt. They really doubt themselves. They doubt their abilities. They doubt the product. They just have some insecurities. They're not very confident. Now, all of a sudden you go, oh, no, wait a second. I don't know if that person's going to make it. What if I told you that they were very indecisive? So not only did they have doubt, but they were also indecisive. They couldn't come to making a decision. Should I call this person now? Should I not? They're probably not going to do it. Okay, it's time to close. Do I go in for the close, or do I wait later? Do I just keep presenting? Do I do a trial close, or do I not? Oh man, what do I do? No, you're going to say that person, yeah, they're probably going to struggle, right? Oh, should I prospect this person? Should I send them a Facebook message? No, that would be too soon. Build more rapport with them, or skip that person, right? Indecisiveness will kill you. And then, of course, fear. I mean, you all know if you're scared of rejection, if you're scared to do the things that you need to do to be successful, you're going to struggle, right? So what Napoleon Hill said is we have to figure out a way to eliminate the three enemies of success. So I figured something out along my journey, that there's a shortcut to being able to do this. And the shortcut is to just understand that the most successful people in the world, if you look at all of the traits that they have in common, all of the most successful people, think about anyone who's done anything who you admire, whether it be an actor who put themselves out there, went to California, broke, penniless, and got discovered. Maybe it's your favorite singer, your favorite rapper, anyone famous, anyone who's left a mark on history, from the Abraham Lincolns to the Martin Luther Kings. What do they all have in common? Oh, they're all sharp. Not necessarily true. They're all hardworking. Not necessarily true. The number one thing the most successful people have in common, and I've studied this, I've looked it up, it is true. It is that they are all bold. They are all bold. What overcomes fear, indecision, and doubt? Boldness. You don't have to be courageous, although courage is nice. You just have to be bold. Sometimes it doesn't take courage to ask another closing question after they say no, or to try to set up the appointment. That doesn't necessarily take courage to ask them another closing question after they've said no, to try to overcome that third objection in a polite way without sounding salesy. It's not courageous. Just take some boldness to just sit someone down and say, hey, listen, this is going to be good for you. It's going to be good for me. I don't care if you buy or not. It helps me. I get paid either way. And I'm going to give you something dope just for watching. And I'm going to get into that here, in a minute, something dope that you can give every single person that you're presenting to. I had a conversation with Jacob, and we were just kind of freestyling about some things. And I was asking him for the different pitches, for what he says to get more referrals, what he says, to set appointments. And I started going through those scripts, and I started pointing out different things. And I found something that I think you guys are really going to like. I think it's going to help a lot of you guys set a lot more appointments and make a whole lot more money and get a lot more referrals from people, right? So what I discovered is if you can just embody the number one trait of the most successful people in the world, which is boldness, that also happens to overcome fear, indecision, and doubt. And I thought to myself, well, how can I do this? And I created this, what is called a pattern interrupt question. It's something that's a part of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I don't know if any of you guys know about this. It's some high-level stuff. It's a form of communicating. It's almost like hypnosis, but you can do it to yourself as well. And there's something called a pattern interrupt. In a pattern interrupt question that you can ask yourself anytime you feel fear, indecision, and doubt, that I discovered and created is this. Now picture a scenario. Anytime you feel fear, indecision, and doubt, I just want you to ask yourself what we call the B10XB pattern interrupt question. And that question is, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And whatever it is that you come up with in that moment, your task is to do it. So whatever it is, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? If I was 10 times bolder, I'd go prospect that person. I'd try to set up a demo with them. I'd go set an appointment with these people over here that I've never contacted. I'd go on my mom's Facebook page and start looking at her friends and working with her and saying, hey, who can I contact, or going down the list and sending them a message. I'd get out of my comfort zone and do that. I'd start contacting people that are successful in professions that I want to go to. Because I know some of you guys, vector marketing isn't something that right now you're looking at as your long-term career. I know some of you guys are just out here to make a couple extra $100, a couple $1,000. Some of you guys might say, like I did, I want to be an event coordinator at a Coliseum. That's what I wanted to do. I went to school in High Point, North Carolina for sport management. So I thought I wanted to do something with that. So to me, I wanted to be working at a Coliseum or something cool like that. That's what I thought would be a cool job. Watch sports games and all that kind of stuff, right? Glad I got out of that industry. Now a good one to be in right now. Event coordinating at Coliseums. There's a whole lot of events going on right now, right? Well, that's what I thought that I wanted to do. But if I was 10 times bolder and I could go back and talk to the younger me, I would say, yo, Cesar, number one, we need to step up your swagger. You need to be a lot more confident. You need to be a lot bolder. People will treat you the way that you perceive yourself. If you look at yourself as weak, timid, and afraid, then they're going to look at you like you're weak, timid, and afraid. And I'm here to tell you something. You were not put on this earth to be weak, timid, or afraid. You were put on this earth to be a conqueror, someone who seizes opportunities, someone who goes for it in life. Life is short. Have fun. Say the things that are actually on your mind. Talk to people like you're talking to your best friend. Keep it real. Keep it respectful, right? Be bold, but not rude, right? Be bold, but not a bully. But be straight up with people. One of the things that took me a very long time to really get and to come to grips with was that I could be myself. I didn't think that. I thought I had to be really professional. I thought I had to be real formal. And then what I discovered is as I started to drop that, there was a direct increase in the amount of money I made. I make a lot more wearing t-shirts. Mind you, they are my clothing line and my brand. But I make a lot more money wearing t-shirts and chilling and wearing a baseball hat when I was selling than I did when I was trying to dress up in a suit and tie. Just did. Because one aspect said, I'm desperate and I'm trying to impress you. That was one energy that I was giving off. The other energy was, I know what I got. It's the deal. This is the best thing that you could possibly spend your money on. And I'm the messenger, not the message. People come through me because they know what I got. And this is the best. And this is the only place you can get it. And it happens to be for the least amount. You could have that level of swagger with people. And if I was going back and talking to my former self, and this is an idea for some of you, the way that I would set appointments would be so much more fun and so much more chill. And the way that I would talk to people would exude so much boldness and confidence that they would have to agree to a presentation just because they wanted to get a load of me. They just want to go, man, is this guy for real? I gotta hear what this guy says. So maybe if I was trying to talk to if I was trying to be an event coordinator and I wanted to go, sell Vector and Cutco knives, I might go to some managers of coliseums that run them. And instead of submitting my resume and trying to get a job there, I might reach out to them and I might say, hey, listen, you don't know me personally, but my name is Cesar Rodriguez. I looked you up here and it looks like you run this coliseum. I happen to be in college right now. One of my goals is when I get out of college to be in your line of work, in your profession. I'm not there yet, but I am currently working with a company right now that is allowing me to potentially, they're actually giving me a scholarship opportunity. And I actually get paid just to do demos and presentations to share these really amazing products with people. And the reason I thought that I would reach out to you, even though I don't know you, is because I thought that, number one, it might be an opportunity for me to get in front of your face, show you what it is that I'm about, and you'd have the opportunity to witness my personality, to experience my personality and see my sales skills in advance. And someone like you who I aspire to one day be like, maybe you could give me some advice and some pointers. I would absolutely appreciate it. Be happy to take you out to lunch afterwards, or, or do something, get together when all this stuff, is done. I'd love to get to meet you face to face, but for now, I'd really just like to show you what I'm made of. I'd like to have the opportunity to just pitch you something, and, please say no. I don't care. I get paid either way. But I just thought that it would be a lot more fun and interactive than going in for a normal meeting and submitting a resume to you 2 years from now and you wondering who the heck this guy is. How many people would agree that that would be a lot stronger than probably what many of you guys are doing right now? Just be honest. Is that a stronger approach than what most of you guys are doing? Well, guess what? You're welcome to use that. You're welcome to use that on anyone in any profession. You could say, hey, listen, you're a doctor. I really respect and admire doctors for what you've done. And what you do. I mean, honestly, you're a hero. And to me, I would love an opportunity to get to know you, but instead of taking you out to lunch, instead of, doing what other people probably do, coffee, lunch, I'd actually like to do something a little bit more fun and unique. I am actually working with this company that's going to be paying or providing a scholarship. I'm in the middle of a contest to win a scholarship. I get credit just for sitting down and showing you something, but I wanted to show you because a lot of doctors, they're very familiar with, surgical steel. Surgeons are a lot. We have lots of surgeons that actually get our products. We've got some pretty dope products. I want to show them to you, and we can actually do it just over a Zoom virtual presentation. I can show you this. And, maybe my hope is that when you see what it is that I do, you'll either give me some feedback. You might be able to give me some referrals. And if you do, by the way, I can give you a free gift. It's actually a pretty dope gift. I think you'll like it when, we get into the details. And that's something I'll share with you guys here in a minute that Jacob and I talked about. But my hope is if you do actually like something and you do happen to buy it, you're going to be thinking about me for the rest of your life. Every time you're in the kitchen, every time you're cooking, you'll be thinking of me. And then if you ever see me in the ER or in the hospital and you happen to be working there, maybe you give me a little priority loving. You know what I'm saying? Kind of put me at the top of the list. Now, look, I'm not asking you to do anything now. I'm just asking you to just take a look. Just take a look. And maybe this favor that I'm doing for you comes back to me 10 years from now, if I'm ever banged up in the hospital and need you. What do you say? How soon? And ask people this. Don't say when. Don't take out the language of when can you set an appointment, or I can do this time or this time. Those are alternative choice closing questions. I love that. Asking, oh, are you more available Tuesday? Great formula for setting up appointments, but I'll give you a quick shortcut, right? If you're going to set up appointments, you've probably been taught to give alternative choice close. Like, hey, can you do Tuesday or what's better for you, afternoons or evenings? Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, evenings, cool. 6 o'clock or more like 8 o'clock. And also put 15 minutes, on the end of any appointment. Do it in 15-minute oddball increments. Don't go 9 p.m., go 8:45. It gives the illusion and the perception that, wow, this person is really tight on their time. Man, I got an 8. They go, I could do 8 o'clock. I'll be coming off of an appointment at 8. Could you do 8:15? And watch what happens. They'll almost always say yes. Say, could you do 8:15 or could you do 7:45? Just because the appointment I have trailing before that And your appointment might be, with the couch. Don't matter. Everything you do is an appointment, right? You know? My Netflix appointment. Oh man, just got off an appointment. Man, it was intense. Whew, man, they're doing over there on that episode. But here's a better framework for setting appointments. When you're going to set an appointment with someone, say, this is real simple. Say, how soon? How soon could you carve out about, and then however long your presentation is, 30 minutes, an hour. How long or how soon could you carve out about 30 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to take a look at what it is that I've got to show you? All right. Now, let's get into some approach. And the reason why you say how soon is because that gets people to think, not when am I free? They go, how soon am I free? And what will happen is you'll get a lot of very immediate appointments. Some people will be like, I'm free right now. They'll go, oh, how soon? Now their brain isn't thinking yes or no. It's thinking about their schedule, and they're running through it mentally and unconsciously. And they're trying to look at their schedule to figure out how soon, when's my next opportunity. All right. So it's a great little hack for setting appointments. Now, let me tell you something about the 4 personalities. And I want to parlay that into a really cool thing that you guys can do. When I was having something that you can give away to help you with your appointments to get more. So one of the things that I was saying to Jacob when we were kind of going back and forth is when he was telling me the approaches that you guys use, I said to him, I said, look, all of these approaches that you guys are using are really only targeting a 1/4 of the population. See, there's 4 personality types, and most of the approaches that people in Vector use are based on asking people for help. So when you're asking someone for help, you're essentially at a lower frequency, and you're kind of without, and I'll just say it, and it's not a terrible thing, so don't have a terrible connotation to this, but you're begging, you're asking someone, oh, can you help me out, please? Please, pretty please help me out with this scholarship. Can I just get an hour of your time? And the thing is, there are 4 personality types, and that applies to one of them. So all of the people who are very loving, soft, they are what we call the yellows in this personality. For those of you guys that are taking notes, they're going to be the ones that are going to most likely agree to sit down with you. But you're going to miss out, the other personality types, like myself, for example, and I'll give you the personality types, and then I'll share with you how you can use this to close more people, set more appointments, and just overall live a super dope life. I mean, I'm talking about like when you get this down, you're going to be able to talk to people better. You're going to be able to get more dates. You're going to be able to get more job interviews if in the future you ever want to do something other than Vector. It's going to help you close deals, persuade people, influence others, and just generally have more friends, right? So here are the 4 personalities. So there are the reds. Now, the red personalities, and as I go through this, I want you guys all, and I'll ask you to put your hands up, for which one applies to you the most. Now, we're all going to be a combination of all of these different personality types, but we are a primary and we have a secondary, kind of like a major and a minor in college, right? So 1 or 2 of these is going to stand out probably more so than the others. So the first personality types are the reds. Now, the reds, they are the drivers. They are the go-getters. They ain't got no time, right? They're out there busy. They're hustling. They're money motivated. They tend to be very ambitious and are let's get down to business, enough with the small chat type of people. Nothing wrong with them. There's extremes of all this, right? You get someone that's really high on the red. You guys know those alpha, like they can be very alpha, selfish, and all that type of stuff, right? If you take that at an extreme. So there's all different levels of this. So just because I say one thing, don't think that you're not that. But reds tend to be very competitive as well. All right. Then there's the blues. The blues, they're all about the fun, baby. I mean, they want to have a good time. They're signing up and they're joining Vector Marketing because guess what? They want to have a good time. They want to be around a bunch of people. They want to be around positive folks. They tend to show up late to parties. Their buzzwords are fun. They like to travel. They're the socialites, right? Very party people, they like to have fun. That's the word, right? Now, this is also very good for recruiting for all of you guys that are running offices, because if you know how to talk to people in their language of their native personality, they're going to understand things that you say a lot better. Everything's going to sound wonderful to them. And the reason I'm teaching you this is because when you can identify people's personalities, you'll be able to sell better to them. Okay. So the blues, they love to have fun. A lot of times they show up late to things, you know, they're kind of those types of people, right? But then there are the greens. Now, the greens, they are the analytical types. They're the ones that they love to do their research, right? You ever sit down with someone, they're like, this looks good, but I need to do some more research. I need to do my due diligence. They take a little bit longer to make decisions, but they tend to be very detail oriented. And they're a lot of times very smart. They're people like accountants, they're people like engineers. They tend to be in very analytical type careers. Good people, slow to make decisions, but when they do make decisions, they're pretty solid because, you know, they're the I'm going to do my research type of person, right? And they love following the rules, by the way. They're all about following the rules, order. They're very organized, right? They've got lists. They work off to-do lists. You know, they're very strict with their appointments. Those are the greens. And then there are the yellows. The yellows are the salt of the earth, beautiful people that you see that just love everyone. They put other people first all the time. A lot of times they tend to be, you know, very kind of like, and not always, but like, you know, very hippie-ish, you know, all about love, hugs, right? They're a lot of times social justice warriors, right? They're the ones that go, hey, listen, you know, I'm out there protesting the street because I want to make a difference and I really care about, you know, people. And, you know, that's their genuine heart. They love to volunteer. They love to help other people. They put others first. You know, a very yellow move for Jacob, right? You know, was to go, hey, let's have everyone in all teams in Vector show up for this training, Cesar. If you're going to change lives, I don't care just about my team. Let's just help people in general. Very yellow thing to do, right? Now, a red would have been like, wait, I get to have Cesar Rodriguez for an hour. Yo, forget the competition. Hey, guys, I'm going to give you a secret Zoom link. Don't tell anyone else that you know that's friends on any other team because we're going to win this next sales contest. There's no way I'm coming behind Stuart Nadeau again. Hell no. Right? Shout out to my boy Stu if he's watching. He's actually been to my house here in Wilmington, North Carolina. He used to live out here. We used to be boys before he moved off to California to be a big Vector hotshot. You know, so those are the yellows. Now, earlier when I said, you know, the different approaches that you guys are using, a lot of times you're targeting one personality. That's the yellows, right? A lot of times those approaches like, hey, listen, I'm trying to go to college and, you know, or I'm going to college and I'm trying to get this scholarship. Could you please help me? And, you know, I'll get paid $18 whether you say yes or not. No. You know, can you carve out an hour? And they go, well, you know, sure, I'll carve out an hour, you know, for you, kid. Right? Those are the yellows. A lot of times you're going to hit them. They're the ones that they'll buy stuff out of pity. But guess what? A lot of times they're not the wealthiest people. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. I've become a lot more yellow in my journey because then I started making money and I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to just be so competitive with everyone. Like everyone can win here. You know, my original personalities, I was a red and a blue. Now red and blue are pretty tied for me. And I was always very little green, very few details. I mean, guys, Jacob might be a green. He actually gave me an entire agenda of like the notes and things that I told him. I was like, hey, I think I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. Guys, I get paid tens of thousands of dollars to step on a stage for an hour and to just talk. And a lot of times if I'm going to do a training to a sales force, you know, like in a live setting, I will not even go up with a single slide. I'll go up there, I'll talk to everyone and I'll just spit from my heart. And people that are greens are like, how do you do that? You don't have an agenda. You don't have bullets. And I'm like, no, I feel it, man. I just get the message and I deliver it. I know what people need to hear. And, you know, Jacob gave me this whole list of like bullet points. He's like, in case, you know, just to make it easy for you, you know, I respect that. But I looked at that and I was like, this dude might be green. He might be green. See, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm always looking at other people trying to read their personalities. And if you can read people's personalities as you're talking to them, maybe you ask someone, hey, you know, what are you into? So here's when you're building rapport. You may have heard of this. If not, you know, this is going to be very game changing for you. FORM. It's an acronym. Stands for family. This is what you do when you're building rapport. You're getting to know people. FORM. These are just there are a couple little things that you can keep in mind of things to talk about and things that you want to discover when you're building rapport with people. FORM. F stands for family or from. You want to find out, hey, right? Think about you're talking to someone, meeting them. You're trying to prospect them. Maybe, you know, you're in line at a grocery store and you're talking to them. Hey, you know, got a couple of minutes. You're like, hey, how's it going? Yeah. You from around here? Yeah, cool. All right. Married, kids, right? From. family. Then you want to go to the R, which is recreation. Cool. What do you do for fun? What are you into? Then there's the O, that's recreation. You want to find out what they do. And you're looking for commonality and ways to build rapport with people, but you're also analyzing their answers. And when they say, oh yeah, for fun, I really love to help to volunteer. I love doing this. And now you should be going like a Terminator. Wait a second. Did they say help, volunteer? This person sounds like yellow. They're a school teacher. Oh, they're a nurse. Why do you like doing that? Oh, really? You love doing it because you love helping people. Yeah, you love making an impact. Okay, cool. You do a lot of charity work for fun. Very cool. And then there's the O, right? Occupation. Find out what people do. Ask them questions about it. Oh, how long you been doing that? Man, I bet you love it. What do you like most about it? What don't you like? These are just little things that you can insert in your conversations to build rapport and to start to get to know their personality. And then, of course, there's M, which is motivation, right? What are they motivated by, right? What really fires them up? And you can ask questions like, okay, cool. Like, so what are you really passionate about? What are you passionate about? Is there anything that you're passionate about, excited about? What are you excited about right now? Anything exciting that you're working on? And, oh man, I'm excited about my grandkids, my niece, my nephew. I'm excited about my career. Yeah, man, I'm excited about this thing that I'm working on. Well, guess what you're getting to find out? A little bit about their personality, right? So now, armed with that information, knowing that there's all these different personalities, now you can start to tailor elements of your own self towards other people, right? You can start to say, okay, well, this person's a red. They want to get right down to business. So I'm not going to chit chat a whole lot with them. We're going to get right into it. Reds are thinking, what's in it for me? So if I want to talk to a red personality, I'm going to get right to it. Now, again, the yellows, they're going to go for all that help stuff. But knowing what you know now, that there's also blues, maybe the person's motivated by fun. Maybe the person is also red, right? They want to get right down to business. Maybe they're green, they're very analytical. So now you can formulate and start to insert elements of this stuff in your appointment setting with folks. So now you go to talk to someone and you say, let's say that you're going to set an appointment with someone. And here's a way that might cover all the personality types. So let's say I wanted to call up Jacob, and Jacob is, someone, I don't know him too terribly well, but, he's on my list. So I'm going to reach out to him. And then I hit him up with a phone call or a Facebook voice message, right? Because you can do voice messages on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you want to connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, my name is just at Cesar L. Rodriguez. It's actually just on my little username here. I forgot to mention that because a lot of times what I do, if you guys take your phones out and you start shooting videos and stuff like that or snapshots of this, you can tag me on there. You can follow me. A lot of times I'll share your stuff, give you a shout out. And I also just like getting to know all the people who, are into the stuff that I teach because I want to follow your journey. I want to see you succeed and I want to answer your questions and help you along the way. So I'm here to serve you guys. This is not a one-time thing. If you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook or wherever, I'll be sure to stay in touch with you guys. I also have a YouTube channel. I'm so into serving you right now. I'm not even thinking about like shooting you out links and, resources and stuff, but I've got some cool stuff for you guys. I'm gonna hook you guys up with some free stuff just so that we can stay in touch and so that I can help you along your journey. But knowing that there are people out there that are all these different personalities, let me give you 75% more of the market that you haven't been touching. Because a lot of your approaches are just asking for help. You're only going to get the yellows. The reds, they make a lot of money. The blues, they know a lot of people. Great for giving referrals. The greens, you guys got a dope product. If they do their research and try and compare, Cutco to anything, you guys are always going to win. I literally just bought a homemaker from Jacob. Like I've wanted a homemaker set +8 with all the little goodie, the pizza cutter. I've wanted that, man. The scissors from cutting those pennies back in the day, and that leather strap. Man, you guys still doing that? That's what I used. That was our old demos, right? That's what we used to do. I've had my heart on one my eyes on having one forever. And I just wanted to find the right person who deserves my business. I was like, no, I don't want to just buy this from anyone. I want to buy this from a G. I want to support someone who's a stud, or studette, right? I want to find someone who's not going to be here today and gone tomorrow. And I want to find someone that deserves my business, so you guys have got the best product. So be confident, be bold in that. And if you're going to call someone up, try to do things that hit all the different personality types. And one of the things that I said with Jacobs, I said, the problem with your approach is you're leaving 75% of the money on the table if all you're ever doing is asking for help. Why don't we touch those other people? Get 75% more people open-minded to sitting down with you by hitting those other personality types. And what does everyone listen to? Everyone's tuned into one radio station. It's their favorite station. You know what it is? WIIFM. What's in it for me? Radio. People want to know what's in it for me. And doing something charitable, that's nice for a lot of people, but you talk to me and you try to get me to give you an hour of your time, good luck. My dollar and my time is worth more than $18 an hour. So although it would help you out, I'd rather give you 20 bucks than to sit through your presentation. That's my attitude. That's my mindset, because I respect your time. But guess what? I'm also the same dude that when Jacob had an opportunity for me to get a homemaker from him, I was like, how much? All right, cool. Here's my credit card number. Ring it up. Let's go. Right? Just like that, because I got the money. You want to get those reds. So what's in it for people? How can we create some type of incentive for every single person? And I was talking to Jacob, and also a big goal of your guys is to have more referrals. So I said, do we have any incentive programs? Is there anything that you have? Can you give them anything for giving you referrals? Can you give them anything for doing an appointment? And he goes, well, there's this one thing that we can give. We can give away a, the vegetable peeler. If someone gets 15, if they give us 15 names. And I said, holy crap, there's your angle. There's your pitch. Now you can call someone up and I could say, hey, Jacob, how's it going? Listen, I know you're super successful. You're a really busy guy. I happen to be in college right now, and I'm working, and I'm actually in the middle of a contest with this company that I work for. And they've got this really cool contest put together. I'm actually trying to win a scholarship and some scholarship money. And the cool thing about it is all I have to do it is to do a presentation to you to show you something really dope. Now, just so you know, I don't care if you choose to buy this or not, but even just the fact that you sit down with me, I'm actually going to get paid $18, which may not be a lot of money to you, but it means the world to me, right? We're hitting the yellows with the help. But just for doing that, if you like what you see, I actually have the opportunity. If you like what you see, and maybe you want to refer me to some other people, I can actually hook you up with something that's a pretty dope gift. I could actually give you one of the items from our set, even though we're going to be meeting virtually. I can still get it shipped out to you in the whole nine. And I can give you something here. We've got these really high-end cutlery, and other really cool things. And I can actually hook you up with something that's going to be a $42 value. So you'll literally get the equivalent of a $42 gift from me just for sitting down and learning about something that's going to, or just for letting me pitch you, for an hour. And again, keep in mind, I don't even care if you buy it. I'm going to take you and we're going to do an online thing. It's virtual. We don't even have to get together, but either way, it's win-win. I get a little something, you're getting something that's worth double what I'm getting, and you're getting to learn about something that maybe now isn't even the right time for you to buy, but just by being educated about it down the road, if you ever want to get it later, you know who to call. You don't need another presentation. So we're going to save you time, right? And it'll give you an opportunity to get all the facts. Who are we talking to? The greens? I just want to give you all the facts and all the information, and then give you something free for free just for looking at this and maybe tossing me some people. How soon could you carve out 30 minutes to an hour, so that we can go ahead and get through this and I can hook you up with this cool thing and, we can have some fun, because this is actually going to be pretty fun. It's not like boring. This is actually going to probably be the most fun. And I don't know if you're like a lot of other people, here in the middle of, this whole COVID stuff, maybe you could probably use some entertainment. So, I'm not even going to charge you for the entertainment portion of my presentation. That's going to come free. How much more savage and gangster is that? How many people feel that posture and that energy? Why can't you do that? Guess what? You can. In order to do that, you can get up with Jacob. You can ask him the details. But this is a thing that everyone in your company actually does. You guys can now lead with this gift. You can give him a $42, if that's what I think it was, that's what Jacob said, right? He says $42. You can give him a $42 gift just for paying attention and having the honor to be pitched by you. Guess what? You can even say pitch. You don't even have to hide behind it. You go, yeah, I want to pitch you something. I don't care if you buy it. You probably will want to. The only people who don't buy it are the people that honestly, they just can't afford it right now. But don't worry about affording it, because one day, if you ever can afford this later down the road, you'll probably definitely want to buy it. And you'll have an idea of what it all costs, so you can build up and you can budget some money aside and you can eventually climb up to it. But I'm going to give you a little gift that'll always remind you of this time. And every time you're in the kitchen using this tool, you're going to think of me and how you helped me to potentially get a scholarship and win this contest because I'm probably going to win. I mean, I'm running pretty hard for it, but I could use every last person I can. So I appreciate the crap out of this. And like I said, when we sit down, when we talk here over, this Zoom, even send me some people, I'll hook you up with something really dope. So what do you say? How soon could you meet? You see how I'm just riffing off of this? But it doesn't necessarily matter exactly what I'm saying. You guys can feel free to watch this script. If you stay in touch, I'm recording this, so I'll see if I can't get a copy out to everyone, that's watching this, maybe post this privately somewhere, like on a private YouTube page or web page. But, I want you to just, if nothing else, I want you to grab the posture. Posture is how you hold yourself. Here's my definition of posture, right? It's not just standing up straight. Posture is the position of strength or weakness you come across in every encounter. And my goal and your goal should constantly be to come from a stronger position of strength. If you have no posture, then it means you're walking around weak, timid, and afraid. Oh, hey, please, would you just sit down with me? And, gee, by golly, it would be so awesome if I could just please have an hour of your time. Weak posture. Strong posture. B10XB posture, which, by the way, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to close out with something really strong and a cool gift, and I'm going to tell you more about what this movement's about. But B10XB posture, B10XB standing for be 10 times bolder, is having the swagger that, and feel free to write this down. Here's a couple little Caesarisms, just little self-made quotes. And feel free to quote me, maybe tag me on Instagram or something. I'll give you a shout out. But you need people, but you don't need any one person. And everything you run away from will chase you. But everything you run towards will run away. Everything you chase, here's the Caesarism, everything you chase will run away. Everything you run away from will chase you. You need to have the mindset of some will, some won't, so what next? I'm right now going to be the next superstar, and every single person that has the opportunity to be pitched by me, one day they'll be talking about it. Pretend for a minute that you're going to be the next Drake. You're going to be a massive superstar in whatever it is that you do, right? Maybe it's music, maybe it's something else. You know, many people tell stories about celebrities. You're like, oh man, Drake, I remember when he was waiting tables. He waited on me once. Man, that was crazy. I always knew back then, the way that guy served me up, my meal, man, I knew that guy was going to be something. He just was something to him. Why not be that person starting today? You have the ability to do so. It starts right here with this mindset, that B10XB mindset. So anytime you feel fear, indecision, or doubt from this day forward, if you commit to this movement of being 10 times bolder and transforming into a 10 times bolder version of yourself, here's the game, here's the challenge. Anytime you feel fear, indecision, or doubt, ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And whatever you come up with in that moment, do it. If you don't do it, it's because you link more pain to being you link more pain to getting outside of your comfort zone than you do to being inside it. And you're linking pleasure to being in your comfort zone and pain to being outside it. So what we can do is we can literally rewire your brain and change what you associate pain and pleasure with. And the way that you do that is whenever you ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? I'd call up this person and I would talk just like Cesar talks, but with my own personality, my own softness, my own tonality. Because just by the way, just because I talk like this on this training, that's not how I always am. I'm a chameleon. With some people, I'm laughing and cracking jokes and I'm being super lighthearted. Some people, I'm a little bit more, I'm throwing fastballs. I'm a little bit more straight and down the middle, right? Some people, I'm changing all these elements of my personality because all of you guys are different elements, right? You guys are all variations. No one's like, I'm just a red. No, you're not. You'd be crazy and locked up if that's all you were, right? You've got compassion. You care. You want to help people. You want to help yourself. You want to help your family, right? You want to be successful and do good things with your money. So we're all a mix. But what I want you to do is whenever you ask yourself that question, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? If you don't do the thing, it's because you link pain to getting outside of your comfort zone. So we have to rewire your brain. And the way that you rewire your brain is you get a little rubber wristband. So you can get any old little brown rubber wristband, or I'll actually hook you guys up as a free gift because I talked to Jacob about this. I'm actually going to fund you guys and send you all one of these B10XB wristbands if you want it. It's a little black wristband that says B10XB, and it reminds you, it's just a message to you, B10XB. It just stands for be 10 times bolder. And every time you look at it in your peripheral vision, it's going to remind you of the commitment that you made today. It's going to lock in the things that you learned today and this posture and this mindset. And you're going to remember to be 10 times bolder in everyday situations. And if you don't do the thing that you come up with, you pull on that little rubber wristband and you let it go and you snap your wrist every time you don't do that bold idea that you came up with. And what ends up happening is after time, your brain, because we avoid pain and move towards pleasure, when it starts to associate getting out of my comfort zone is painful. But now, all of a sudden, it's more painful to stay in my comfort zone because if I don't do the thing that I just came up with, I got to slap myself. Your brain unconsciously goes, it's painful to be in my comfort zone. Be bold. Do the thing. Do the thing or it's going to hurt. And then what happens is you be bold, you get a result. You end up getting that crush to go out on a date with you, set that appointment with that person who ends up buying a homemaker +8. You end up setting that appointment with that person that you thought you'd never get a hold of. When you take this into every area of your life, the friendships, the relationships, the pleasure that you're going to get, the immense pleasure from all the doors that are being opened and all the opportunity that's being unlocked, the immense pleasure that you're going to get from that is going to start to now rewire your brain, and you're going to go, it's pleasurable to be bold, and it's painful to be in my comfort zone and to be timid. And when that occurs, as that occurs, you are going to see yourself transform into a 10 times bolder, more confident, and badass version of your already awesome self. And that is the you that is going to attract the success that you seek, but not just the success, the happiness and the fulfillment. I put my first video on YouTube about B10XB, and it was my first video that ever went over 100,000 views. And the stories that I got from people saying, I met my fiance because of B10XB. I've been following your teachings, Cesar. I've watched all your YouTube videos, but the one that changed my life the most was B10XB. I saw it 5 years ago, and today I'm a millionaire. Cesar, I started this business, and I became a millionaire. Cesar, I did this B10 times bolder. I had this B10 times bolder movement. Here's what it did, and here's where it led me. The stories that I have, the money that you're going to make, when you rewatch this training and you study it and you get these scripts and you plug into all the things that I teach, because if you guys had fun with me now for 1 hour, imagine what you'd get if you were actually inside of our Facebook group. Imagine what you'd get if you were subscribed to my list for all of my B10XB followers, all my B10XB family. Imagine what you'd get if you were constantly hearing this because you were subscribed to the podcast that I have as well. Imagine the person that you'd become. See, a lot of people are out there chasing success, and it's exhausting. I've done it. Sucks. Long hours, hard work. Success is not that hard. You can take a lot of shortcuts in success. That's what I teach people. And one of the biggest shortcuts that you can take is committing to being 10 times bolder. Joining this movement, which, by the way, is free, and sowing and investing in yourself. And when you do that, instead of chasing success, you become the type of person that success is attracted to, because success is not something that you have to chase. You ready for this? Success is something that you attract by the person you become. So I would challenge you today to, if you're going to become anything, be the type of person that attracts success to you. Embody the number one commonality among the most successful people in the world, which is boldness. Stay in touch with me. Reach out to me. And if you're serious and you want to join this Facebook group, if you want me to hook you up with a free B10XB wristband, I create a special link just for you guys right before here. And if you go to b10xb.com/vector, you are going to see a brand new page that I just put up just for you guys. And what it will allow you to do is it'll give you links to stay in touch with me. So you'll be able to see me on Instagram. How many of you guys have Instagram? All right. Word. So I'm looking forward to sewing into you guys on Instagram. It's got my YouTube channel. How many people here watch YouTube videos? Well, you can start splicing in some of my training videos, some of my sales videos, some of my stuff on influence and persuasion. But more importantly, on that page, you can, number one, join the Facebook group. You can follow me if you want to follow me. You can also plug in and subscribe to the podcast that I've put together. There's about 5 episodes. There's about 5 episodes on it now, but I'm going to be creating a lot more later down the road. So you're going to be notified whenever we do this. And there's an opportunity for you to join my exclusive list for everyone in the B10XB family. So whenever I pump out new videos, you guys are the first to know. When I create a new podcast episode, you're the first to know. And I've got a really dope little email that's got links and all kinds of stuff to be able to get your free wristband. And I've got a special free training that I put together that is on this page that once you actually, for those of you that take the third step and you decide to be plugged in, join the email list and all that type of stuff, not only will you get the free wristband and all that jazz, you just have to pay for shipping because I don't know where you guys are in the world, but if you want one. But on there, once you're a part of this list, if I ever throw anything out there that you're not interested, you could always unsubscribe. But in that email, I'm going to give you a link to a bunch of really cool stuff and some training. And one of them that you'll see once you register is a training that I actually did. It was a keynote talk to a bunch of college students that were all in this business and entrepreneurial program. And in it, I shared with them some really dope stuff. So this is a private training. It's not even posted anywhere on YouTube. I listed, top 3 books, things to do. And it's a pretty fierce training. So you'll actually get it for free. Just go to b10xb.com/vector. All right. So that is my gift to you, my parting gift, because I don't want this opportunity to end without you guys having the opportunity to stay in touch and to continue to pick my brain and ask me questions and stuff like that. So what I want to do is I want to go back out to my man, Jacob, and find out how he liked what you guys just heard. Are you fired up? He's been smiling the whole time. So I'm thinking I said something.
Wow.
And I want to be able to answer some questions. I know we had one, it was a little bit high level, but I want to get it. And I think it was Josh's question. So I want to get that if we have time, because look, I only committed an hour, but I'm down to give you guys some extra if you want it, if you guys want to hang. If you don't want to, and you're like, hey, said an hour and it's an hour in a couple minutes, you guys are free to go. No one's holding you hostage here, So just don't look at the leaderboard of everyone that stays an extra couple of minutes. Don't compare yourself. Going to be fair for you. That's not going to be fair.
Amazing. Wow. Before you guys do hop off, if you do gotta go, let's give them some snaps. Cesar, that was phenomenal. Snaps, claps, throw some stuff, throw a lot of love in that chat box. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Cesar.
Oh, okay. Wow, there's a whole chat box here.
The chat box has been blowing up, Cesar.
Oh man, yeah, look at that. You guys are over here. All right. So go ahead.
Amazing. So yeah, absolutely. So thankful, so sincerely grateful for you and you giving us your time, and your time is incredibly valuable, and giving us this free message. I know a lot of people, this is maybe their first personal growth message, the first time they ever heard about success and being a success magnet, hearing about NLP. And this is going to be the moment that they're going to look back on. And when you guys look back on this moment as like the turning point of your life in terms of personal development, definitely think of Cesar, because, if it wasn't for personal development, if it wasn't for me diving into books and me diving into Tony Robbins and everything that I love to do, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have reached out to Cesar. I wouldn't have done any of this. And look what we've been able to create.
It was a bold move. All you guys are here because of Jacob's bold move.
B10XB.
He was like, I'm going to reach out to him and see if I can't book this guy for something. I'm going to get him in front of my people. Way to be bold.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So absolutely amazing. Thank you so much again. I know I wanted to leave some time for a little bit of Q&A. Sure. We did have a question from Josh Gort. So Josh, I'll let you ask the question out loud here in a little bit.
So can Josh do that here? Can we?
Yeah, he's here
on there, because one of the things that he was asking is like how to do this, how to build your business kind of, talking to, I think, like realtors or some different stuff. So I just wanted to hear the particularities of that and what it is that you offer exactly, so that I could, help to craft you a pitch a little bit better for that. How many
Yeah.
guys are interested in knowing how to like hit up and sell, multiple products, and get people to like want to use Vector for gifts and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. High ticket sales, guys. I've sold high ticket stuff for a long time, and it's one of my areas. So where's Josh? How do I hear from him?
Yeah.
He's here.
All right. Can't miss him. Like cowboy hat. Okay.
Yeah. You said be bold, right? So that's my deal.
I like it.
First off, thanks for delivering this content. It was awesome. Got a ton of takeaways from it. So excited to apply and implement, and just been studying personal growth for a long time as well.
Yeah.
But to my question, yeah, I'm prospecting with like business owners, realtors, and we'll sell Cutco engraved for gifts, and we'll use it as an appreciation client or as an appreciation gift to stand out in terms of standing out from other appreciation gifts out there, because everyone loves a gift, but it's like Cutco is something that's going to be in their kitchen, used every single day, that they're going to be reminded of who gave them that gift. And so I'm essentially going after business owners that are already gifting, but some of them will gift, 5,000.
Give me a role play and share with me someone a type of person, like whether it's a realtor, insurance agent, or someone. Give me an example of someone that you would like to pitch and what their profession is, and someone that's preferably proven as a good source for this. Because a lot of people are like, oh, like I want to do insurance people, or people that, well, it's like, is that a niche in your company that's working, or is it just an idea you have?
Yeah, I would say, realtors and loan officers are definitely people that have been proven.
Okay, so how would you pitch me if I was a realtor? Can we do that? And then I'll pitch you, and then we'll reverse it. You guys want to see this? Do you want to see a little back and forth?
Put me on the spot. All right.
All right.
So, hey, Cesar, let me ask you a couple of quick questions to get familiar with your business, so I know how best to take our conversation here today.
Okay, cool. I'm a realtor. Next question.
Yeah, so how long have you been doing real estate for?
7 years.
Awesome. And then about how many closings do you do a year?
A year? Well, man, honestly, I haven't thought about it per year, but with everything going on so far, man, I've been doing probably, this has been my best year ever. Interest rates are down, so I've been closing about, I would say about 10 houses a month, man. We're doing pretty good.
Okay, so 120 a year.
120 a year, yeah. I hadn't scaled it out yet, but wow.
Awesome. Congrats. Yeah, because my main goal today is to just show you what we do with our gifting program to really streamline your gifting process, because a lot of real estate agents, they do a gift, but they don't necessarily have a gift that works for them long term. And one of the things I always share with my real estate clients, if the gift doesn't work for them, for the client long term, it's not going to work for their business long term. So what I'm going to do is with this gift, it allows to work for you, because it's something that we actually engrave with your company logo and also engrave with your info on it. And then every time they use it in the kitchen, they're going to think of you.
Okay.
And then I would like walk them through the website and kind of gauge their like price level in terms of how much they're currently spending.
How much are these gifts going to cost me to get for people?
Yeah, I mean, we have gifts that, you could spend thousands of dollars on a gift, but a lot of times people, they're spending $200-$300 on a gift.
Okay. Well, man, I wonder what kind of houses they're closing.
Yeah, and then there are also smaller gifts where you can do $100 gifts as well.
Okay. So this is how I would handle this. So now let's do it reverse. So give me the same answers, right? 7 years, 120 houses a year. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? All right. So, hey Josh, how's it going, man? Cesar Rodriguez here. Look, I know we met at that networking event last week, and we didn't have time to really, chat it up. We met on that virtual Zoom or whatever, but I noticed that you're in real estate. And the reason I say this is, guys, I actually was just on a virtual meetup group. These are happening. And it's funny because I actually saw Stuart Nadeau, for those of you that know him. who was on this thing out in California. And I was like, oh, wow, Stuart's in, real estate. And he had mentioned that one of the things that he said is he's like, hey, if you know realtors or anything like that, we're helping to give them gifts, like we have a gifts program and all that type of stuff. So this is very spot on with, a real life situation. So I might reach out to you and then I'm going to say, let me see if I want to see if I can get you back on screen here. Josh, I just want to highlight you, so I can see you. Let me see. How do I do this spotlight video? All right, cool. So I would say, hey, Josh, so I know we met at that networking event, that virtual one the other day, and you mentioned that you did real estate. And listen, man, the reason I wanted to reach out to you is I just wanted to ask you a couple questions about your business, because I actually happen to be doing something right now with real estate agents that is just lighting up their businesses, and it's contributing to them getting a lot of referrals and a lot of return business from clients. It's a program that is actually offered through our company. Not a lot of people know about it, but the people that do, they jump on it right away because it's kind of a thing that a lot of top producers have in common. So we're seeing a lot of realtors that are flocking to us because of this program. And I just wanted to share it with you for a couple minutes, but I wanted to make sure that it was right for you. So before we went any further, I just want to ask you a couple questions about your business just to make sure, because I don't want to waste your time, or mine, so can I ask you a couple questions about your real estate business?
Sure.
Okay, cool, man. So how long have you been doing real estate?
7 years.
7 years, dude. Congrats, man, dude, you must be killing it then.
Yeah, we do all right.
Yeah. Tell me about how you doing right now. I'm hearing a lot of mixed stories. Some people are struggling during the pandemic. Some people are killing it. I know interest rates have been down. So, how have you been doing, closing wise?
Yeah, we've been doing about 10 closings a month with our team.
10 closings? Okay, so I need to be going to you to borrow money next time is what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm just kidding, man. But seriously, congratulations on your success, man. That's really impressive. Do you happen to do, when you help someone close on a house, like what if you can just give me an idea, because this will help me to better, give you any suggestions if I have any. What's the average, size of the closings that you do? When you're closing houses, you're doing 10 houses. Do you have a niche? Are you doing luxury, high-end, $1 million plus homes? Are you in the $200,000 range? Like, what's your typical home closing?
Yeah, probably 200 to 400,000.
200. That's a good sweet spot.
Higher end.
Yeah, there's lots of business moving through there. That's some good money, man. 10 closings a month, man. Good for you, man. You're on fire, bro. Congrats. So, what type of gifts do you give your people that, do you have any type of gifting and retention program, something that you give to people that really kind of sticks in their mind long-term and it keeps them constantly thinking about you and, wanting to go back to you, in the future and wanting to refer you people? Do you have some type of gift incentive, program at all like that?
Not really. I mean, we do gift cards, and that's definitely why I wanted to connect with you.
Oh, okay. Gift cards. Yeah, that's definitely a good starting point. I mean, if you're selling like little like $100,000 houses, starter homes, condos, yeah, that's a great gift. I mean, we see a lot of people kind of progress from that, into, the types of stuff that we offer. So, I'm catching you at the right time, man. I'm excited for you. So what now, do you guys see, by the way, how I'm congratulating him through this process, but I'm also throwing little negs. I'm like, oh, that's a great starting program, but that's not really just an incentive program. Do you see how I even said, do you have some type of ongoing incentive program? And then what did I tell him? I described for him, this is very advanced. This is what's known as neuro-linguistic programming. I mean, I'm unleashing a ton of NLP on this guy right now. How many of you guys can tell he's already got no shot? Like, he's already sold. How many of you guys can tell that this guy's coming? He's coming down, right? So what's happening right now is I'm telling him what an incentive program is, and I'm describing it and tailoring it to the things that my product offers. Do you have some type of current incentive and retention program? So I told him it's not just an incentive program, a retention program. So what is retention? Keeping your clients, having them come back to you. So is a gift card good enough? Is that a retention program? No, I give them a gift card. They blow it. They don't think about me for the rest of their lives until they have to buy a house, maybe, right? Maybe they're still thinking of me then. It's not a retention program. Oh, that's a good little gift. But we're talking about a program, an incentive program, a retention program, something that you catch all these little things I threw in, something that keeps them thinking about me 24/7, gets them excited to send me referrals? Do you have anything like that? And so what does he have to say? No. So if I said, hey, do you give your people gifts? I've got a better gift that you can give them. Now I'm trying to convince him why he should be buying people hundreds of dollars worth of stuff versus, you know, a gift card. Am I ever going to win that battle? No, they're going to buy something super cheap, right? It's like, hey, what are you giving? What kind of gifts are you giving people? A bottle of wine? Okay. Like, that's all right. It's a good starting program, you know, for some of the people in the smaller houses. But, you know, I know a lot of people that are in your range that sell houses around your level and your price range. They tend to give away, they tend to have programs in place that keep their customers constantly thinking about them, right? Okay, so going back into the skit, I just wanted to break this down because a lot of times, guys, what I do, and this is something that, you know, my students and my followers, you know, a lot of times they see the stuff that I do and they get hypnotized and mesmerized by it. And they go like, that's amazing. Oh my God, I want to talk like Cesar. How do I do that? So I like to step out of the little role play and just be like, did you guys see how I'm doing this magic trick? How I'm setting them up? Okay, so back to it. All right. Okay, so yeah, so you've got, that's a great starter program, man. A lot of people do that, you know, especially opening up in their business. The problem is, now watch how I relieve him of any guilt or fault. Like, the problem is, it's honestly not your fault because there's just not a lot of education, you know, in this area for realtors. But the people who kind of crack the code on this and figure this out are the ones that build those machines that send them tons of business and tons of referrals because they're constantly on the forefront of their mind. See, back in the day, you used to be able to get away with giving someone a refrigerator magnet. Here's a refrigerator magnet. You stick them on the door. You know, we had a refrigerator magnet back growing up, and it came with a little itty bitty calendar, and it came from, you know, and it stuck on there, and it came from our real estate agent, right? But guess what? We had her little refrigerator magnet and all these other people who sent us refrigerator magnets, you know, that we didn't even know. You just solicit them. Back in the day, that's a thing that they used to do. It's weak. That's not giving value. So here's what we do for people. Okay. So for those people, those realtors who really want to stay in the forefront of people's brains, let's just reverse engineer. Where are people almost every single day? I mean, they might skip the living room. They might not watch TV, but they're always in the what? Kitchen. They're always in the kitchen, aren't they? They go in that refrigerator, getting food, cooking. Who's the main decision maker, you know, in most homes? Let's say I'm talking to a man or a woman. I'd say that. Josh, who's the decision maker in most homes? Let's be honest about this. I know we want to think it's us, but who is it really?
The wife.
The wife, right? Did you see how I set him up there? Just in case. I know we think it's us, you know, and if it was a female, I would say, you know, the guys think it's them, but who's it really? Be like, it's us. That's right. So I'm talking to my real estate agent. So what if, imagine this, watch this. Imagine for a minute, Josh, you just closed one of these 10 houses with this new couple. And instead of going in and doing what other realtors do, which is giving people a bottle of wine or a gift card or whatever, some starter basic thing, and then asking them for referrals throughout the year and sending them collateral, hey, who do you know? Weak. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking to themselves, every single time that you reach out to me, you're just trying to pump me for some referrals of who I know, and I don't know anyone. Why do people act like that? Because there's a principle of influence. Now I'm going to get high level with you, but feel free to memorize this. There's a principle of influence, and I'm talking to you as a real estate agent. Josh is a real estate professional. There's 6 pillars of influence. One of them happens to be called reciprocity. Reciprocity, this is a high level pitch. You guys can feel free to skip this if you want. I'm just telling you how I would flag down deals and close realtors right and left and win every freaking contest your company ever put on by a landslide. I'd be talking like this. There's a principle, and because I'm educating, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to give them value. So I'm literally teaching them how they need to give value, but I'm also giving value by teaching them this. So I'm already creating a ton of reciprocity. So I'm going to say there's a principle of influence. It's called reciprocity. When you give people something, when you are constantly serving someone, they feel indebted to you and they want to do business with you. They want to balance that out. See, everyone has these scales. So if you give value, right, you're weighing down the scale. This other person's feeling selfish for not giving you anything back. So to balance it out, they want to what? They want to do something to hook you back up to make that equal. So what do you want? You want more referrals. You want repeat business, don't you, Josh? So what if we could find a way to have you give someone something that's so useful that they literally use it every time they're in their kitchen? They're thinking about you every single time there, and every time they do, they're going, man, this person, they could have been stingy, but they went the extra mile and they hooked me up with something that's allowing me to cook my dinners faster. It's allowing me to prep food for my juicer quicker. Every time I cut a watermelon with that butcher knife from the homemaker set, now you're talking big sets, setting them up, because that butcher knife comes in the big set, doesn't it? Right? Setting them up. Every time they use that butcher knife to cut a watermelon, like they're chopping, they're cutting paper with a, what do you call those things? The paper cutters, right? When they're cutting watermelons like paper with a paper cutter, analogies, metaphors, throwing them in just for fun. Every time they do that, they're thinking about the person who hooked them up with this high-end set of cutlery. So now when you reach back out to them and they're thinking about you once a week, conservatively speaking, because how often do you use your knives? You have knives at your home. How often do you use your knives? Maybe you don't use the butcher knife all the time, but you probably use your steak knives, right? You're using knives all the time, aren't you?
Every day.
Imagine if at every meal, they're slicing through stuff with ease and they're thinking about that super cool dude that could have been cheap, but he took a piece of his commission and shared the wealth back and gave me this amazing experience. Now, when you go to ask that person, who do they know? And they know that you treat people so good that you buy them homemaker sets or you buy them knife sets. When someone's eating dinner at their house and they're going, I love your knives. Oh my God, you got Cutco knives. Someone presented that to me back in the day. Yeah, I couldn't afford it, but man, I always wanted one. I got one of those presentations back in the day. And that person goes, oh, well, you know what? I didn't actually even buy these. My realtor hooked me up when he did the house closing as a welcoming gift. Yeah, he's next level. He's a pro. And they go, wait, what? When I bought my house, I got a gift card. Your person's giving you homemaker sets. Now, the next time you get that $30,000 commission is on the table, who do you think that prospect is going to ask to be their real estate agent? The person that sold them their house and gave them a gift card, or the person that sold their friend's house who you sold, and they saw that you got them a set of high-end cutlery knives, the best that they could ever buy? Who are they going to? Who are they giving that business to?
Me.
They're giving it to you, aren't they, Josh? And that's exactly why we have so many real estate agents that work with our company and get together with myself specifically, because I happen to be the expert in setting up incentive and gift programs for real estate professionals like you. Make sense? Cool. Well, why don't we do this? The next step, it sounds like from here, because what I'm saying is it makes sense to you. And, as the saying goes, if it makes sense, it'll make you dollars. So let me show you how you can put this program together. Let's book an appointment. Let's set a time where we can talk, where I can give you an overview of what this is, what we have going on. I can give you the specifics, all of the information, all of the facts, and I can show you a way that you can do something really dope that'll get your people excited and loving you, talking to the blues, will help them, and will make you a ton of money. Reds and yellows right before it. How soon could you carve out 30 minutes to an hour for us to go over the finer details? Josh, are you in on this program, buddy? As a real estate agent, are you buying for me, man?
Let me grab my credit card right now, actually.
He's ready to buy. He's ready to buy. That, my friends, is Cesar Rodriguez freestyling a pitch on a product and an opportunity that I just heard of.
That's awesome.
Wow. That was fire.
Yo, if you please, okay, so I'm going to see if I can't get you guys to replay for this. And I'm going to tell you something that I did back in the day. See, right now, every one of you on this thing, if you honestly listen to this, and I got this nice setup. I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't know when. Don't pin me down on a time, because this is something that, honestly, you all already know that I could sell the hell out of this thing. I could create a funnel right now and sell the ultimate Cutco training, how to dominate leaderboards. You know, I think I might do that. Yeah, never mind. Forget me giving it to you guys for free. I'm going to sell it. I'm just playing. Just maybe for you guys live, just for all of you guys that go to b10xb.com/vector. If you follow those 3 steps, if you follow me on Instagram, you know, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, plug in, but most importantly, get on that email list, because I'll just shoot you out a link whenever I put this together. All right. Give me some time. I got a lot of other projects, but when I do this, if you guys honestly just listened to this, wrote notes down, studied it, adopted this B10XB swagger, which don't worry, you're going to get it, because for those of you that joined the B10XB Facebook group that we have, I have trainings inside of the unit section that will help you. All right. I've got some trainings that are going to give you some more advanced mindset stuff. And for those of you on my email list, you're going to be constantly getting all the new stuff that I have coming out. I got a really cool video coming out tomorrow. That's kind of fun too. That you guys will see. But imagine doing this right now, regardless of where you're at, because think about it. Remember where I was terrible. 0 for 100. I was Cutco dropout, right? I quit before I figured it out. But if I had had this, one of the reasons why I got really good is I found some people that knew how to talk. And what I ended up doing was, when I heard their scripts, I wrote them down, I studied them, and I memorized them. I listened to them over and over and over again. I wrote them down, I rehearsed it. And then I would recite it in front of a mirror until I was fluid, until I had my personality, until I didn't have to read it word for word. Because you never want to read a script word for word. I had this guy that was on my team, and he was struggling. He was setting appointments, and he was trying to set appointments, and he was just struggling. So I told him, I said, you got my script, right? Let me hear your script. Read it to me. What are you saying to people? And then he read me the script, and it was the framework of something that I had given him. And I heard it, and he was like, hey, Josh, this is Cesar. How are you doing tonight? And I was like, dude, you're reading. I can hear you. I can hear you. Like, I can tell you're reading. And who talks that? How are you? Which one of your friends do you go, do you talk in, how are you? Or do you go, yo, how you doing, man? How you doing? What's up, bro? What's up, girl? What's up, sis? If that's how you talk, you better maintain that. And I told him, I said, look, here's what I want you to do. You've got this script. Nothing wrong with this script. It's going to work. It's just, you're not sounding authentic. You're not delivering it with any passion. You don't have any edge. You don't have any tonality. You don't have any voice inflection. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to read this script. I want you to say it into the mirror 20 times. And then call me back after you've gone start to finish 20 times. And his name was Jerron. And Jerron did that, called me like an hour later. And I said, did you do it? He said, yes, sir. I said, great. Let me hear your pitch. And he was like, the difference was like, hey, how are you, Josh? It was like, hey, Josh, how's it going, man? Cesar Rodriguez here. Listen, just had a quick second here. I'm in a big rush, but I'm glad I caught you. You know, I wanted to ask you a quick question. And it was just like conversational. It was smooth. It had swagger. You guys realize you can be whoever you want to be, right? You can literally transform right now. I went to high school, in a high school where I grew up for the first 16 years of my life. And I was kind of like a class clown, but you know, I was in a comfort zone. I had people I'd grown up with for 16 years, right? You know, or however long. I was 16 years old. So all that time in school. Then I moved to another school for my last 2 years, right? We bought our first house because for me, I grew up 5 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment for the first 16 years of my life in central New Jersey. Not a lot of money, right? We were pretty broke. First time I saw someone with a house, I'm like, holy crap, you got like the biggest apartment ever. Didn't even know what a house was, right? And I remember that when I was in that position, right, I knew when I transferred to that new school, I was immediately unpopular. I knew nobody. I was picked on. I was bullied, believe it or not. And I remember thinking, you know, these last 2 years have sucked. I'm going to college in a place where nobody knows me. I'm going to North Carolina from New Jersey. I can literally reinvent myself. So day 1, freshman orientation, I just said, I'm going to be outgoing. I'm going to be charismatic. Nobody knows that I wasn't cool my last 2 years. Nobody knows that like I wasn't popular. How are they going to know? So I'm just going to act cool and I'm going to act popular. I'm going to be super friendly. I'm not going to be a dick. I'm going to be so nice to everybody. But I'm also going to be cool. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to stop caring what other people think. And because of that, I transformed myself. Freshman orientation, I was like the most popular person in my college. All that changed was a decision. I just decided I was going to be bolder, more outgoing, and charismatic. Which, by the way, there's an episode on how to do that on my podcast. The podcast is called Be 10 Times Bolder. It's a whole episode, how to be more charismatic, outgoing, and bold. Right? So I forget, that might be like episode 5 or something like that. But you guys can be whoever you want to be. So break out of whatever shell you're in right now and start acting like you got more swag. Some of y'all listen to some rap music or something. I don't know. Borrow some swag from someone else. Sorry, Josh. I know he's got a cowboy hat, whatever cowboy people listen to country. There's some cool country cats out there. I'm just having some fun with you guys. But, all right. Jacob, my man.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you. That was like the people that stayed on. Some people were saying this in the chat, but it pays to stay. It pays to stay. And that was incredible, Cesar. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. We do have a couple of small questions. I don't know how much time you have left, and I do want to honor your time. But I have had a few questions.
An audience, I can see the smiles. I can see the gratitude and appreciation. So go ahead.
Amazing. So Trey, I'm going to have you were the first one that reached out to me. So Trey, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Go ahead and ask your question to Cesar for me.
First and foremost, man, grateful for you tuning in and sharing all of the information, all of the fire, everything that you brought for us today. Shout out to Jacob, first and foremost, for lining all this up, man. But my question is, honestly, like your whole story, I see very much parallels in my own journey. So what I want to ask you is, how did you go from direct sales into building your own personal brand? And I would shameless plug myself right now.
No, well, good for you for not. Good for you for resisting. You know, he's like, because, you know, if you look at my website, you know, good for you, man. So this is what I would say. So I want to pin this video here and get you. All right. So all of that happened. So if you look now at my life, I'm an entrepreneur. I own multiple businesses. I have a movement. I have so many different things that I'm a motivational speaker. Companies hire me to train their sales forces. You know where all of that really started from? It started from, number one, me being good at what I did. If you succeed in Vector, it will give you a platform to speak, because if you all of a sudden start killing it, what's everyone around you going to want to know? Hey, well, how did he do it? Man, he was struggling and how did he go from there to there? And that's what happened with me. I was this kid that I was 21, 22 years old. I went 0 for 100. Everyone knew it, right? Wasn't bashful about it, but everyone saw my hunger and how coachable I was. And the fact that I gave up TV and I was doing nothing but listening to personal development, I was growing myself. I mean, right now, guys, you can be watching YouTube videos. You know how many people message me like, I've watched all of your YouTube videos, even ones that don't even apply to them. Like I have 100 plus. I'm like, well, you haven't watched all of them. They're like, no, I've watched all of them, all 100. And I'm on your email list and I've watched everything you got. Right? That's how easy it is. Back in the day, I had to go to the library and get a library card and get books out and borrow them and read them to get the knowledge that you can now get by typing in something in YouTube, right? So because I was working on myself, because I was growing, and because I was putting in the work, people saw my growth, they saw my success. And I went from this guy who struggled to this person who was like the king of cold market, right? I was a cold market prospecting savage. That's literally all I did, guys, for years. All I did this was my full-time career and job. And this, by the way, too early. I was in direct sales too early, 22 years old, not making the money to be able to pay my bills, living off some credit, you know, and literally selling to survive. I had to sell to make the money to pay the lights. So all I did was I hung outside of my house and I just walked up to people at gas stations, grocery stores, parking lots, anywhere I could go. I would find people, I would chat them up, I would get to know them, and I would prospect them and I'd pull their number. So to this day, I'm known, one of the things that I'm known for is I've pulled over 20,000 numbers from cold market prospects, 20,000 people. And by the way, I stopped counting that stopped counting that probably 15 years ago. Like it was forever ago. But I had it because I had all their names and numbers and stacks of business boxes of business cards, shoe boxes of them, right? So trash bags of them, right? So I got successful and I started teaching people because people were like, yo, where are you getting all these prospects? Did you hear there's this 22-year-old kid in Wilmington, North Carolina, who's literally building his business straight from cold market prospecting. So they called me up on stage to speak and they were like, hey, can you give a training on what you're doing to drum up people? Because a lot of people are giving excuses about, I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't know where to go. I ran out of my friends and family. But here's this kid. He's doing it. He's getting it done. So I got on stage and I started sharing that story about what I was doing, things I was saying. I started sharing tips. And then I started to get recognized from that. And then they'd have me speak again. And then I had more stage time. And then I was doing more and more talking and more training. And I started to get sharper and sharper at that. And then I ended up uploading some videos on YouTube to train my team how to prospect. Because I started recording myself at these events. And I was like, hey, I did this training in my city, but I know you're out on my team in this other area. So I'm going to post it on YouTube. And then people started finding my stuff that weren't even on my team and in my business. And they're like, yo, Cuz is the truth. Yo, you hear about that Cesar Rodriguez kid, man? He's spitting fire over there. He keeps talking about this company thing he's in because I kept talking about my company, which at the time, was like a legal services company. But then I started going generic. And then what happened is I just created really good content and I got discovered. But if you want to blow up your brand, number one, take care of yourself, invest in yourself by getting the books, the audios, the courses, and all that type of stuff. Jacob actually mentioned to me, before this, whole training, he was like, hey, are you like going to sell anything? Like, I know you've got courses and products and stuff like that. Sometimes we have guys that give trainings and then their whole thing is they're just trying to sell people like on their coaching programs and stuff like that. And I told Jacob, like, if you go to my website, I charge $1,000 an hour. I don't see anyone that's like 18 to 22 wanting to hire me, for a coaching. And that's not why I do this. I said, I've got digital courses that people can buy. And I said to him, to be honest, I'm not here to sell any of my stuff. Maybe some people will buy some t-shirts and some hats, but they'll join the movement. I'll send them a free wristband or whatever, but I'm not in this for the money. But what I told him was, I said, the best thing that could ever happen, I told him, I'm not here to sell anything, but I said, I have one course, the Immediate Yes Formula course, which is a course that I created that teaches you how to sell high ticket stuff and how to build rapport, trust, and credibility and get people to say yes immediately without objections. And I told him, I was like, yo, the best thing that could ever happen. I said, when I do trainings, most company leaders, they ask me to sell my stuff because most of them, they've bought my stuff and they're like, yo, we've been through your course. Please sell your stuff to our team. We want them to spend money. They're going to invest money anyway. They're going to buy a book. They're going to buy some course that they see down the road. They're going to do something. We know your stuff is top notch. So we want them buying your stuff. So get on here and please sell your stuff. So I became a brand from creating content and helping people for free before I got paid. And because of the value of what I give, all of that stuff just kind of took care of itself. So set the intention and say, look, I want to do what you're doing, Cesar. I want to be like a version of that for me and take whatever you like that maybe I'm doing and then start to apply it to yourself. Because you're going to be you with your own swagger, with your own personality, with your own different type of audience. But if you do what someone else has done, you'll get what they've got. It's one of the fastest shortcuts to success. It's called modeling. That's what I did to get where I'm at. I literally picked up and moved to a city where I knew absolutely no one just to get around a guy so I could watch him in his element. And then I got all his secrets. I put my personality on him. And he'll tell you today, he goes, Cesar, I've learned more from you than I've ever taught you. He goes, I know I'm your mentor, but you're really mine. So that's how you can blow up your business. Focus on yourself. You want to blow up a brand, focus on yourself, be a rock star, crush it in this company, and then tell everyone how you did it. And the beautiful thing is, guys, you guys are all, like I said, you're in a paid internship. You're literally having the opportunity to make money by learning these skills. Every time you get knocked with rejection, you're getting tough. You're developing real life skills. Every time you pitch someone, you're getting real life experience and feedback. You're talking and you're getting objections and you're handling them and you're learning like, okay, cool. Like I thought this person was yellow, but they were actually a red. I didn't realize until the end. It's just practice, man. Consider everything you guys do as practice and then just share your journey along the way. All right. Boom. Cool. Trey, I want to see you on Instagram, brother.
Already, it's done. Like, I'm on
I want to be
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that.
all right. I want to hear your guys' stories because I showcase a lot of them, especially in the B10XB movement. That's a thing I'm going to be doing. I would love to showcase some young stunners, you know, and be like, you know, hey, you know, we got John Paulson over here. We got Logan. You know, it looks like Celestial over here. Is that really her name? That's a heck of a name, man. You got to be famous with a name like that, Celestial. Rachel, you know, I see you, right? I want to be hearing these stories and sharing your guys' testimonials. I want you guys to light it up. I want you to be the next superstars because there's nothing that makes me feel better than when I'm at events. I was at this event. This was about a year ago. No, this was a couple years ago, actually, this particular event. And I had this guy walk off stage. He's a multimillionaire. He's super young. He's like in his 20s or something. You know, lives in like this huge penthouse in Miami. He came up to me and he goes, hey, man, I just want you to know, like, you know, you don't know who I am, but I'm the #1 earner in this company. And I know who you are because back when I was learning how to prospect, I watched your videos. I stumbled on you on YouTube. I started watching your cold market prospecting videos. I learned some stuff from you. I saw your B10XB stuff and your whole B10XB movement, man, and the content you created changed my life. I just want you to know I'm here where I'm at in part because of you. You were one of my mentors and you didn't even know it. You know, and I lived for that. That's why I do this here. That's why I'm going the extra mile. I'm going to be on with you guys for, you know, have been on as long as I want. Because I know that someone out there, you're going to get something and you are going to blow up. Some of you guys are going to be a part of this movement. You're going to be like, yo, B10XB changed my life. I found my fiance. You know, I got my, you know, I became a top producer. Everything changed. Money changed. Zip code changed. I'm living in my dream house. I mean, you know, Jacob, you know, it was talking about this setup. I've got 2 studios in my house, a home gym, a movie theater. You know, I said to myself, I was like, yo, I'm going to give up watching movies and TV, and I'm just going to do personal development. And I know I'm missing some movies. I missed the Harry Potter stuff when it came around. All those popular shows that were like, you know, everyone's like, oh my God, the next Harry Potter, whatever was a popular pop culture buzz thing. I missed it. But you know what I said? I said, I'm going to watch all that stuff one day. I'm going to get back to it when I'm in my dream home and I've got a home movie theater. I'll just take a couple of days. I'll binge watch the whole thing. Everything that you sacrifice right now is nothing more than a seed. You sacrifice time, you sow the seed of time, then you're going to get time. You sow money, you get money. Remember that.
Wow. The heat, man. This is awesome. I'm just taking notes. My hands on fire. Are you guys loving this or what? Let's get some love in the chat. I want to see you guys, everyone awake and taking notes here, of course. Of course, we are recording, and I'll be posting the recording to the Facebook event page. So
great.
That's gonna be great.
If I can't get you guys a really high, because I'm streaming from like a 4K camera. I've got like, you know, this fancy
No way.
So this thing will sound like butter right in your ear when this.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, better than Zoom, but no, that sounds awesome. There are 2 more questions.
All right.
I don't know how much time you have again, but
I'll answer these last 2. I'm going to do it pretty quick because I want to respect your guys' time. It's about 11 o'clock here, you know, coming up. But you know, if I'm going to be here, man, I'm here to change lives. So let's get it.
Awesome. So I had a question from Cassidy. I'm not sure if Cassidy is still on, but Cassidy, yep, I see. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. She's got some questions on NLP and where you learned NLP. How can we learn more on NLP if we're just brand new to it? But Cassidy, I just unmuted you. Go for it.
Yeah, I have never heard of NLP before tonight. And I was wondering if you had any, you know, recommended books, you know, sources that we can all just kind of like learn more.
Okay. So, so number 1, great question. If I was sitting in your shoes, I would probably be thinking the same thing. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. Probably the best person in the world at it that you could probably see is Tony Robbins. So he doesn't have like a course on NLP, but every time he talks, it's NLP. And NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's just a way. There's lots of different forms of what NLP is. Like, it's a pattern interrupt question. Like when you ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? When you ask that question, your brain has to answer it. Your brain will always come up with an answer. because you're basically speaking to your unconscious mind. So what a lot of NLP is it's speaking to people's unconscious minds, planting seeds, and then watering them in different ways. One of the things that I'm known for is my analogies. I am a master at analogies. I'll just tell you, this is something I've been told, for years and years and years. But a lot of, NLP is talking in analogies. If you look at Jesus Christ, I mean, what did people say? Oh, he always spoke in what? Parables. He always told stories. If you guys go to my Instagram or YouTube, you'll see one of my most recent videos is called the hockey analogy. And you see me on stage sharing this. It's a metaphor and it's analogy because I'm able to weave a lesson and a message inside of a story. So it hits you very strongly and deeply, but you don't really know what's happening unless you're aware of how NLP works. The problem with NLP, and the reason why a lot of people don't talk about it, is because it is high level stuff. It's like when you're in college, it's like you start off with like communication 101. Well, NLP is like 601. It's really up there. It's something that you typically learn late in your career. And honestly, you can Google and YouTube how to do NLP and stuff, but the books out there are pretty lame, to be honest. I learned from a combination of studying people like Tony Robbins, doing a lot of copywriting. So copywriting, it's like sales copy. There's a lot of NLP when you learn how to persuasively write. But really the best way to learn NLP is by watching someone like myself and hearing how I talk, hearing how I train, seeing how I deliver messages, studying the way that I pitch, and then just reverse engineering that for yourself. Right? See, some people right now, like if I was like really, if I was trying to, and by the way, I wanted to say something. Everyone uses NLP. We all do. You guys use it all the time unconsciously. The best salespeople, Jacob, when he and I were flying through scripts, a lot of the scripts you guys are using, they're using NLP because a part of NLP is embedded commands. So an embedded command would be something like saying like, hey, look, you guys don't have to go to my website, b10xb.com/vector. If you don't want to, I don't care if you're going to be successful or not. You guys, your future is all in your own hands. What you want to do with your life is none of my business. I'm just here to help the top achievers and the top people that really want to take things to the next level in their lives, the people that are committed to sowing in themselves, the people that want to go to the next level, that aren't complacent. I want to help and serve bold people. Those are the type of people that I want going to my webpage, b10xb.com/vector. Everyone else, I still love you, but this and the stuff that I teach isn't going to be for you. Now that statement right there, that's just how I normally talk. And everything I said, it wasn't an act. It wasn't like I didn't mean it. It's 100% true. I don't want everyone to follow me. I'd rather 10 lions than sheep. I'd rather run with 10 lions than 100 sheep. But what did I say? How many seeds did I plant there? Like, look, if you don't care about your success, if you're not bold, if you're not this. So what am I telling you? Every person who would go, well, I'm those other categories, so I guess I want to go there. So I've embedded a lot of commands in the things that I would say. When I was talking to Josh, and I was saying like, hey, look, yeah, that's a great starter thing. Yeah, a lot of people start off there. Congratulations. It's a great starting point. At least you're giving them something, But what am I doing? I'm planting seeds. I'm embedding commands. That's a starter program. When you kick the training wheels off that tricycle, right? And you move from a tricycle to a bicycle, Oh, no, that's cute. Yeah, training wheels. Yeah, I remember having training wheels too. We all start somewhere. What are you saying? You got a little starter program. So I do have something, I don't know that it's 100% applicable to you guys. I'll talk about it anyway. Now, the problem with me teaching you guys this stuff is sometimes you will now start to look and hear everything that I say, and you'll be like, he's doing it to me. He's getting me again with the NLP stuff. It's honestly just how if I ask you, hey, do you guys want to go to, watch this new James Bond movie, in the theaters when it opens up, like everything that I say, you'll find elements of NLP because it's just laced in language, right? We all do it all the time. But the thing about it is I have, for example, a course, and seriously, it's for network marketers, people that primarily recruit, but it's a cold market prospecting course that I have. And in it, I show footage of me prospecting people Like I'm literally walking up to strangers. And I did this because I learned by watching my mentor prospect people go up and break the ice. And then he would give me a play-by-play breakdown of what he did. He said, hey, do you see how I complimented his shoes instead of his watch? I know the last guy you saw me compliment his watch, but the reason I chose shoes here is because this. So because I learned that, and I knew there was a lot of people out there in the world that didn't have the benefit. Like some people don't have, great fathers. I didn't have the greatest father to show me a lot of stuff. Not a lot of people have great mentors. So I created a virtual mentorship program where people could watch me prospect through the eyes of hidden cameras. And then I'd give them a play-by-play breakdown of what I do and everything that I said. And it's one of my programs. It's on my website, CesarRodriguez.com, right? And I give tons of free trainings and stuff over there. But in that training and in that course, I break away and I teach you the magic of everything that I say and do. Now, again, that course is primarily for people that are recruiting. If you want to learn how to just walk up and talk to people and prospect them, like if you're a division manager and you want to learn how to recruit, absolutely, you need to get that course because it's all about how to break. Like you could walk up to anyone, anywhere, break the ice and have them wanting to work for Vector. You guys want to win some of those recruiting contests that you have? Jacob was saying, if you recruit people, like your friends and stuff, you can like win trips and stuff with them. If you want to learn how to be really good at that, and that's definitely a great course. But the reason I bring that course up is because it's an example of something that most of you guys should not buy, maybe just direct managers or people like that, right? Division managers. But it's to illustrate the fact that the best way to learn is by watching someone else and having them break things down for you. And I do some of that on the videos that I create. I talk and then I teach and then I tell you all of the ninja stuff that I did, right? That's the best way to learn. And there's no one in the game that I've ever seen that does it the way that I do it personally, which is why I don't have a million bajillion followers, but I have a lot of really loyal ones who they freaking consume the content, that I create because I break that stuff down. So I would just encourage you to stay in touch, keep plugging into the stuff that I put out, and I will, knowing that, I will create more videos and content based around that type of stuff if you guys want to learn it.
Wow.
Last question.
It just keeps getting better and better and better, Cesar. I'm loving this. The NLP, that's definitely a question I had too. I've seen NLP before and heard about it, and I've watched some Tony videos on it, but you just expanded my horizon to a whole new level. So I appreciate you for that as well.
There's honestly, and that's one of the reasons why, like I said, I've got like some tight knit communities of people that are like in private groups of mine that are like for network marketers, because I teach like stuff that no one else in the game teaches. But I just want you guys to know, like, I'm really excited that we're plugged in because you're going to see a lot more of that. Like I've got, we're going to be unloading and unleashing some content. Like I've got like video editors now. I've got this studio I just built this, downstairs studio. So I'm going to be cranking out content. So I'm excited for you guys. I'll teach you and ask me questions and I'll create videos and stuff around some of these topics for those of you that I don't get to your questions. So let's hit this last one.
Awesome. Last question. I don't know what exactly the question is, but Jared had a question. So Jared, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Go ahead and ask the last question to Cesar here. But stage is all yours.
Jared, where's he at? Jared, if you're there. Let me see if there's more than one page here. Is he waving his hand over here? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me unpin you. Hold on, let me see. No. Is he out there? Am I missing something?
Yeah. Can you see him? If you click on speaker view, you should see you guys are both pinned.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Where's he at? Speaker view?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
So my question's not directly related to sales. It's more like worth ethic wise. So, I mean, like for my age, I mean, whenever I tell my family or my friends what I'm doing now, they always like surprised and in awe on how successful I am for my age. Because I mean, like throughout high school, I had like the mentality that I want to be the best at whatever I do. And I made that a reality. I was pretty good in high school. I'm a certified EMT at 18 years old. I graduated top of my class in EMT school. I'm a volunteer firefighter for the Massapequa Fire Department in Massapequa. And I'm currently going to nursing school to be a pediatric nurse.
Now, my question is, I did very good in school. I earned my respect in school. Now, I'm a new EMT, so obviously I'm the rookie. So even though I know a lot, like, how could I go about, getting respect from my peers, even though I know a lot and I know I could do my job effectively? How would you go about getting respect on the job?
Awesome question. I would be the most humble, coachable person in that field and in that business. And I would perpetually wow people at your job, not by impressing them with all of your stats, but by letting them discover that type of stuff along the journey. So, for example, you going up to other people who are better than you and not posing a threat, because the one thing that you want to avoid is you don't want to look like a cocky know-it-all. Because I'm looking at you personally, and I'm just gonna speak straight up because you seem super straight up. Like, you look like you're a good-looking dude. You got a gold chain. You got a hat, right? You seem like you've got a little bit of swagger. You're also smart. When you have that, and then you pile onto it, like, I happen to also kind of be a know-it-all, and I'm very successful for a young age. You can actually inspire a lot of people to, hate on you. Versus if you're like, hey man, I'm the new guy on the block. You guys are the G's. I just want to be like you. Like, I would really love to just, if there's anything I can do to serve you, if there's anything I can do to make your job and your life easier, look, I'm just here to serve. I'm here to, like, learn, like, you're one day where I want to be that good. Even if they're not that much better than you. Now be careful, because you don't want to seem like you're patronizing. I wouldn't go up to someone that I already know I'm better than and be like, hey man, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Like, they're going to see through that and be like, nah, bro, you're sharp. Like, get out of here with this. Like, now you're seeming suspicious. But if you're just honest and you're humble and you're a servant, people will be kind to you. They'll take you under their wing. They'll share with you information that they wouldn't normally share with anyone else. And then throughout the process, they'll be like, wow, this guy, man, he's all about everything. Sharp, personable, hard, good work ethic, humble. And that doesn't mean that you can't showcase your skills or be confident. Don't get me wrong. A lot of times people think, oh, I don't want to be confident, so I'm going to be super humble and I'm not going to open my mouth. No, be confident about what you know, but be very upfront about the things that you don't know. And that's the thing with me. I am very frequently, and I'm going to say this because it's something that I kind of pride myself on and I joke about, is I'm very seldom wrong. I don't like the feeling of being wrong. I like to be right. I'm a winner. I want to win. And being wrong sucks. You got to apologize when you're wrong. You feel bad. So how do you not be wrong? Well, you don't talk about stuff you don't know to be true. If it's not a fact, don't say it as a fact. Don't say it as a statement. But the things that I know what I'm good at. Like, I know when it comes to freestyle pitching, creating pitches, analyzing what other people are saying, writing scripts. Like, I already know, like, there's not a lot of people in the world better than me at that. But you want to talk about creating an agenda, writing out a thing like this, being real organized like Jacob, not the guy. So be very open about what it is that you are good at, have that confidence, walk around with that. But also know that if you really want to be the best of the best, be humble and be coachable and follow through on your word. Do the things that you say you're going to do. Don't break your word, and don't say stuff that you don't know to be true as a fact. If it's not true, like, don't say like, oh man, yeah, if someone's like, can these knives cut through this, this Yeti? And I don't know if that's true. Could it cut through this Yeti? Is there a knife that could cut through this metal?
Maybe a cleaver.
Maybe a cleaver. So there you go. He could have been like, yeah, cleaver will probably get the job done. It's like, if I had to guess, out of all the knives in our set, my best prediction would be that a cleaver would probably have the best chance of slicing through that thing. If anything was going to slice through it, it would probably be a cleaver. There are some people that are so desperate to make a sale, they'll be like, oh yeah, the cleaver will do it. you know? So protect yourself, protect your word. Don't speak in such definitive terms. And if you do that, you'll never be guilty of, you know, being a smart aleck, and people won't look to make you wrong because they'll just notice, like, this guy's got a really good track record. He doesn't open his mouth much to give advice, but when he does, it's always right. But at the same time, don't be afraid to take risks and to say and to do things. Don't be afraid to be bold for the sake of, I might be wrong, because when you're bold, if something doesn't go your way, it's not a failure. It's just a learning experience. You know, this stuff that you guys are doing right now, I'm just going to tell you something. If I had more time with you guys, I could get on some deep levels, but I just want to tell you something right now. None of this stuff that you're doing, none of this stuff, it's not important. It's all practice. It's all practice. The money you make, this is just your practice money. This is just the stuff that you're getting paid to learn your skills. 20 years from now, you might be speaking on stages to 20,000 people, and the no's that you're getting today aren't going to mean anything. The money you make today is going to be spent. Look at everything as practice. Like, I'm going to practice being more confident. I'm going to practice being bolder. I'm going to go out here and talk to this person, and I'm going to go practice prospecting on this person in the grocery line. I'm going to practice hitting this person up, you know, and being friendly to them. Just going to practice, because one day you're going to need that skill. And when you hit that home run, you're going to realize, like, yo, all this stuff I did before was practice, right? It's always practice until the day that it's not, the moment it's not. They're all just practice swings. Every time you get up there, you're just taking another cut, right? Every time you do that, you're just taking another cut. These are practice swings. They don't matter, except one day you're going to take a swing and you're going to think it's a practice swing, and it's going to fly out of the park. And everyone's going to go, holy crap, he just sold a homemaker and he made this much money. Well, holy crap, he just hit the leaderboard. And you're like, oh, I thought I was just in practice. Apparently, that was the real game. Dope. But if you think it all as practice and experience, you're not afraid to go try stuff, because you're like, whatever, dude, it's just practice. I don't care. This doesn't count for nothing. No one's going to care. This no that I get, people be like, how'd you deal with the no's and the rejection? I just recognize that I'm probably not going to see any of these people that I'm talking to ever again. And if I do, I want to give them a show that they go, oh yeah, I met that guy once before. Yo, that guy's amazing. He was so personal. He was like, had the best personality, right? Be that person, make a mark, make an impression. All right. That's it. I'm done.
Wow, what a topic to end on. I mean, Cesar, you went deep there. I was loving that. That was stuff that I've, you know, maybe seen a couple times, but now just like going in depth on it and fully understanding it. Everything's practice. I mean, one example for me is just like before I ran my first interview as a manager, I just told myself, this is easy. I know how to do it. This is practice. This is practice. This is practice. And I didn't use those exact words, but that was like the concept and the mindset that I put myself in. And looking at that now, just doing more things is practice. I know that's just going to take, you know, everyone to a whole nother level. So thank you so much for that. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Wow.
I mean, when I think about this, guys, I never thought that I would be sharing my Cutco failure story, you know, from when I was 19. I mean, I never thought, when did I ever think that would come in handy? That was something I was like, yo, I need to hide behind this thing. Hopefully no one ever finds out that, like, I tried to sell Cutco. It could ruin my street cred one day. Like, who would have known that all of those failures, all of those experiences, they gave me something that I'm now able to tap into, and I'm able to share, and maybe I'm able to touch one more life. Because maybe if I come out here, I was like, yo, I was a hot shot. Yeah, man, I went, you know, I ran a district. I was this, you know, what if I was just like one of those stories? Some of you guys would be like, another one of these fools, man. Man, they don't know what it's like growing up in my hood. Ain't nobody got no money for knives in my hood during COVID. Crazy. Nobody's got money. Everybody's broke. Everyone knows that. That's fact. Guys don't know what it's like nowadays, right? It's easy to get that attitude. But I remembered something, and I'll close out with this one last thing. My mentor always told me this, and it really helped me. So I want to pass it on to you, this little gift. My mentor, Larry Gregory, gave me this gift. He just would always say to me, he would say pro, because he called everyone pro, because he was a golf pro for 36 years. So he would say, pro, you're writing your story. You're writing your story. Every time that I had a hardship, every time I had a breakthrough, every no that I got, I was writing my story. I was writing my story. Some of you guys are writing your story right now. Some of you guys, your story is before the training that I attended with Cesar Rodriguez, my life and my business was here. And I was doing this, going through the motions, not having success. I didn't realize that I was just one trait away that I needed to focus on and master to having my entire life change. And that was boldness. All I needed to do was focus on this one little thing, being 10 times bolder. That's what I did. Create that question. What would I do if I was 10 times bolder? Start asking myself that every day. Every time I see a prospect, oh, I want to go prospect that person. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. No, they're going to reject me. They look just like the last person that rejected me. Never works with people in that market. You know, every time I talk to a rich looking white lady coming out of a nice car, they always reject me. But then I was like, what would you do if you were 10 times bolder? If I was 10 times bolder, I'd go walk up to that lady and ask her, you know, say something, I don't know, break the ice, and then I'll pull her number and try to set an appointment again. All right, then do it. Either that or pay myself with a slap. So I got these wristbands. I got these originally just for people on my team because I was like, I wanted a code to talk to myself, be 10 times bolder. Remember, Cesar's, what would you do if you're 10 times bolder? Ask that question every day before every phone call, on every appointment. Ask myself that. And I was single too, so it helped my game. Before I was as good looking, I was bold. I got away with that. You know, I was like, I'm going to go for it. You know, someone else isn't going to probably talk to her. They're probably too intimidated by her beauty. You know, but I'm going to go for it. You know, so be 10xB. Be 10 times bolder.
Be 10 times bolder. Wow. Cesar, this was so amazing. I sincerely can't thank you enough. We're all, I know, so grateful for you, and especially the Q&A. You didn't have to stay an extra hour and 14 and 15 minutes. Your time is incredibly valuable, and how many lives you're touching right now, and how many, like, the impact that you're creating on our generation. That's one of the biggest things I really want to have on people, and just seeing how you did that on with us. That was very inspiring, and can't wait to chat more. And I know everyone's sincerely grateful. You can just see that chat box blowing up. So if you guys want to write one more nice thing or anything that you took away from Cesar tonight, I'd really appreciate that. Review your notes, review what you just listened to and heard. I'll post the recording. I know Cesar's going to post some stuff as well, but sincerely, Cesar, thank you so much.
Hey man, my pleasure. And remember guys, you are writing your story. These little things that you're doing, they're all just a part of your story. So don't trip out about them. These are just chapters in your book. At the end of the day, when someone reads your autobiography, what are they going to see? What do you want them to see? Do you want them to see some struggle? Do you want them to see the moments? Is the chapter in your book the time that you did this vector marketing thing and you wanted to quit, you know, and you went on this training, and man, this is the thing that changed your life. You committed to that one step of being 10 times bolder, and you were like, that's it. I'm gonna do that. And then your business blew up. Some of you guys, that's going to be your story. And that's why I came here tonight. I came here tonight with the expectation, not the hope, but the expectation that somebody's life on here was going to change, and that was going to be their story. I've heard so many variations of it before, but I wanted to pour it all out and leave it on the field. You know, I remember Michael Jordan once said, he said, when I go out there on the court, I'm not just playing for me. I know that there's someone watching that's going to be their first and maybe last Bulls game. And I want to put on a show so that they say, I saw Jordan play back in the day, and it was amazing. So I wanted to give you guys everything I got tonight and leave it all on the table, collapse on this desk afterwards if I need to. I'm feeling good. You guys kept me energized, but I wanted to leave it all here on the table, no holds barred, so that you guys remember the day that you were trained by Cesar Rodriguez, and that you can share that story with me one day when you guys are living the life of your dreams in your dream house with your dream spouse, money not an issue, changing lives, doing whatever it is that you do, but being happy, fulfilled, and feeling successful in whatever way that means to you. Mad love. I'll see you guys around. Stay in touch. And
Wow.
it's a B10XB.
B10XB. Amazing. Thank you so much, Cesar. Have an amazing rest of your night. I'm just gonna drop some stuff here for everyone on the call. But thank you again.
Appreciate you guys. If you haven't taken a picture, a video, or anything, to post on Instagram.
Yeah. Drop something on the IG.
Post something on there so I can see who you are. Should I give you a cool screenshot?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make sure you're tagged here. Let's do one of these.
I'm sorry. That's my one. It's my one pose. Like, all right, guys. Take care.
Love it. Thank you, Cesar. Appreciate you mucho. Thank you.
Bye.
And for those of you that are just wrapping up, closing out here, share some of your takeaways with your team. Spread your impact. I'm all about impact and how many people you can influence. Your life was changed today. Maybe you have a whole new perspective. Share that with someone else. Share that with your group chats, with your teams, whether you're part of Vector, whether you're a real estate agent, whatever you do, share it with people. Spread that impact. And just like what Cesar was saying, live the life of your dreams and inspire others to do the same. Keep crushing it. If you guys ever need anything, you can reach out to me on Instagram as well. You guys have Cesar's Instagram. I just dropped the Facebook event in the group, in the chat box again. Go ahead and open that. Make sure you drop some love. What do you really take away? Let's show Cesar how grateful we are for having him beyond this. He charges $10,000 for an event that he just gave for free, and $10,000 plus. Like, that's like the bottom. So just let's show him some love. Let's try to get him back here after he sees all of the impact that he's created. And just looking in Cesar's shoes. If you're in Cesar's shoes, what would you want to see? What kind of an impact would really make you feel good? And do that exact thing, whether it's telling someone else about it, whether it's posting about it, whether it's keeping him in the loop of your story, whatever the case may be, just keep doing that. But yeah, if you haven't dropped anything on your story, go for it. It's always a good thing. But I'll be posting the recording as soon as I close out here. I'll be posting the recording in that Facebook group. And I know Cesar, he was recording that whole thing on his 4K camera as well. So who knows, maybe all of us will be famous later. So it's going to be a blast. But thank you so much again. I appreciate you guys for being on. I know I don't know a lot of you, but it was a blessing and it was a pleasure to have you all here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And if you need anything at all, please reach out to me. I dropped my phone number in the chat box as well. I'm here for all of you. But hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys. Peace.
Jacob's name is his Instagram handle. Follow Jacob on Instagram.
Thank you.